right, we are live. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to This Week Unloaded, loaded. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of This Week's I can't even get my goddamn introduction done. Well, This Week Unloaded, episode 151. See, tonight, I hope y'all got your thinking caps on because it's trivia night. Well, not trivia. I should say quiz night, not trivia night. I mean, I did put quiz night in the title of the show. So, like, get in here, Buck. We're going to play some more quiz stuff like last night. So, yeah, get in here. So far in here, our contestants will be New York Galcast. How are you tonight, Rob?
Doing all right. Thanks for having me, I think.
And next in was Kingpin. How are you tonight, Dave?
Yo,
That's not an answer. Ask the guy how he's doing. All he says is yo.
I don't like Californians.
Alrighty then. So, what's been going on? Anything happened today? I mean, it is something.
I worked all day.
You worked all day, yeah. But that's the usual. Oh, you, Rob? How was your day?
Not much on my end. Just home alone for most of it, so relaxing.
You didn't get attacked by the wet bandits, did you?
By the what?
The wet bandits.
Is
You
that a
don't.
code?
You've never seen Home Alone? Seriously?
Oh yeah, I've seen Home Alone, but
Yeah, that was
it's not
uh,
bird.
Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. They were the wet bandits.
Okay. No attempted B&Es or anything like that. Thankfully.
You ever watch wrestling before, Rob?
No, there was a small time period. My dad was into it for a little bit, not into it, but watched it with friends over playing cards or whatever. So I've been around it, but I was never really a fan. Had gone to one match, and it was fun as a kid to go to a match and watch. So
All right. Well, I got a quick trivia question for you, and there's no trick to it. It's just yes, no, whatever. There is no wrong answer. If I said the name Larry Zabisco to you, would you know who that is?
no,
If I said the name Randy Monkey or the Monkey Brothers, would you know who they are?
no.
Okay, thank you.
See, so Zabisco's just as much a legend as Monkey Brothers. See, Rob proved my point. Zabisco's a legend. Because the Monkey Brothers are a legend according to you and Fiend Dog.
Okay, we can get started.
I assume those are wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I just said that more random people would know who the Monkeys are than know who Larry Zabisco is, and your answer made you one of the most random people. So if you would have known who the Monkeys are, then I'd probably never let Rich live it down.
Yeah. But now the real question is, you know who Hulk Hogan is?
Yeah. I know who Hulk Hogan is. Let's see, Andre the Giant, uh, Mr. Fuji. Love throwing like pepper or something in people's eyes. Got to see that live. That was awesome. Uh, who else? Crap, there was somebody else. I think he did hockey as well for a while. Uh, few, but very few.
Okay.
snapping into a Slim Jim.
Oh, that was Savage, Randy Savage. He was a former baseball player. He played minor league baseball. Didn't want to stick around doing that, so he went into wrestling instead. But, anyway, so tonight last night, let me start with last night. Last night on the wrestling show, there's this website that has these quizzes. They're multiple choice quizzes, and just like your standardized tests that you used to take in school. And they did one last night where Buck and Kingpin were answering questions about wrestling and whatnot. And they had fun doing that last night. So I looked to see what other quizzes they have on that site because they have a whole bunch of them. And I figured tonight we could do U.S. history, see how much you guys know about this country. And there will be different categories that you guys can pick from and within the U.S. history thing. So
Give a quick shout out to Sam of Anarchy and Fiendo.
Yeah, I guess we should say who's out there, huh? Let's see. First was G23, and then MKJO, and then Kingpin, and then Buck, and then Sam of Anarchy, and then Fiendog. So yeah, evening, gentlemen. So let me go over here and share this website so you can see it.
Well, let's if the people in the chat want to play along, after you asked us the question, wait like 5 seconds because remember there's a 15-second delay. Give them a chance before you start the second question to type their answers in.
All right, you guys seeing the page?
Yeah, I see a screen or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so our categories are African American, American Revolution, Civil Rights, Cuban Missile Crisis, Difficult U.S. History, Gold Rush, Historical Dates, Native American, Old West, September 11th, 2001, Slavery in America, The Great Depression, U.S. Civil War, U.S. Colonial History, U.S. Labor Unions, U.S. States and Cities, U.S. Wars, USA in the 19th century, or USA in the 20th century. Evening, Gary.
Evening.
So you see what we're playing the trivia, so or not trivia but quizzes on U.S. history.
Did we win yet?
Yeah, we haven't. We're they're look. We're deciding what category to go with first. So, Kingpin, what category you want to go with? I'll let you pick the category first.
I'll defer to Rob or Gary, either one.
All right, Rob. You there, Rob?
Yep. I'm looking.
Talk to me, Rob.
September 11, 2001. See what kind of baloney's in here.
All right. So now we got. Do we want to do September 11th, the day that shook the world? Keep an eye on the right-hand column, by the way. That'll tell you how hard the quiz is. Like you got September 11th, the day that shook the world, the day the world cried, the dogs of 9/11, September 11, 2001, World Trade Center before and after 2001, 9/11 conspiracy or coincidence, or the twins hand in hand against infamy. I think the easiest one would probably be the September 11, 2001 one, where 11 is actually spelled out, because that one is average.
How many questions?
10.
Everybody else.
What was that?
I'm okay with that if everybody else is.
Do that one? All right.
Oh, you gotta ask Gary and Rob.
Well,
Sure, why not?
Yeah, go with it.
all right.
Do we?
First question. The events unfolded at 8:46 a.m. when American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the World Trade Center. This aircraft crashed into the north side of the tower. Which floors did the aircraft strike? Was it between floor 94 and 98, between floor 97 and 104, between 89 and 92, or 103 and 107? What say you, Kingpin? Which floors did it go hit between?
If I remember correctly, the first tower that got hit was hit a little bit lower than the second tower. So I'll go with the 89 to 92.
All right. Did you two agree with Kingpin, or do you want to choose a different answer? Gary, Rob?
Yeah, it works for me.
Yeah, sounds right.
Jason's saying it was 103 out there in the chat. And if Jason's got a link, he could be in here doing this too. And so does
It's
Stacy.
no fair being out there Googling it, though.
Yeah, no cheating, folks. No Google. So we're going with 89 and 92. All right. And remember, you won't know the answers until the correct answers until we're done, because then it tabulates all the scores at the bot afterwards. On September 11th, 2001 at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 175 crashed into the south side of the South Tower. The speed was about 590 miles per hour, crashed between the 78th and 84th floor. Parts of the aircraft were catapulted out of the building through the east and the north sides, landing as far as 6 blocks away. Which hijacker was piloting this particular plane? Was it Mohammed Atta, Marwan al-Sahi? God, these names are going to kill me. Fayez Ben Ahmed, or Ahmed al-Gamadi? Or Gamdi, something like that. You get the idea. Which one of those guys was it? And we'll start with you this time, Gary.
The only name I heard of on that list is the first one, Muhammad Atta.
All right. What about Kingpin? Rob, do you concur? Or do you want to choose a different?
Yeah, I'd say it was number 2.
I'm going to go with Gary, and I'll say number 1, and then I'm also going to say we clearly got the first one wrong.
Is everybody else saying 103 out there?
Oh no, it just says the second question says that the South Tower was hit in the 78th floor.
Yeah, but they asked for the first one.
Right. And I thought that the first tower was the one that was hit lower,
No,
apparently.
it doesn't mean you're wrong.
It doesn't mean that I'm right either.
I mean, it could very well be 89 through 92. I don't remember either. I mean, I don't think I was actually worried about what floors were actually the ones hit. So.
I'd say none of those on that list would be lower.
If you were a guy cleaning the carpet, you'd have cared.
I don't think I was a problem after that either.
You didn't have too many to clean.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Which borough of New? I'm not reading the whole damn question. There's a lot of information here that doesn't pertain to the question itself. So, which borough of New York City were these complexes situated in? Were they in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, or the Bronx? Rob, we'll start with you.
Manhattan.
Okay. What say you, Gary and Kingpin?
That is correct.
I'm not going to argue with the New
Manhattan.
Yorker. The guy, his name's New York Outcast. I think he might know.
Yeah, but he
the
doesn't
streets.
live in New York City.
I'm sticking with Rob.
By which name was the collapsed and destroyed area of the World Trade Center often referred to? Is it Impact Zone, Ground Zero, Economic Ruins, or Central Collapse? Kingpin?
Ground Zero, Defense Dad. Here. What's up, Defense Dad?
Even in Defense Dad. So you two concur with him? Is it Ground Zero? Or
Yep.
Yep.
American Airlines Flight 77, one of the 4 hijacked planes that fatal day of 9/11/2001, crashed into a well-known building. Do you recall which building was affected? Was it the White House, the Pentagon, U.S. Capitol, or the Washington Monument? Gary?
Pentagon.
You guys concur?
Yep. So they say, but yep.
Alex Jones.
It crashed into Alex Jones.
Alex Jones is right again. Are they going to have any questions about Building 7 that fell down after the reporter said that it had already fell down, like on camera? No, no, that's not this question.
In which U.S. state did Flight 93 crash? Was it New York, Maine, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania? Rob? You there, Rob?
Talk to me, Rob.
Sorry, I had to run and grab my phone really quick. What? Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. In which state did Flight 93 crash? New York, Maine, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania.
You two concur?
I did a video on this. Yes.
Is Maine really a state? Is New Jersey really? Isn't New Jersey just like a big city? And like Maine is like southern Canada.
You know, Maine used to be part of Massachusetts.
New Jersey is just New York light.
And I think Maine's actually pretty nice, so I'll take everything bad I said about Maine back. Screw New Jersey.
The Twin Towers were destroyed on September 11, 2001, but several other buildings were either destroyed or seriously damaged. Which church, located very close to the World Trade Center, survived the attacks and was a place of rest and refuge for the many recovery workers? Was it St. Paul's Chapel of Trinity Church, St. Patrick's Cathedral, St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church, or Calvary Baptist Church? Kingpin, I believe you're up first this time.
It's the Trinity.
What do the other two think, Gary, Rob?
The only one of them I've heard of is St. Patrick's.
What do you say, Rob?
I'd say the Trinity as well.
All right, so we'll go with that then. All right. Rescue and recovery efforts at the World Trade Center after 9/11 attacks in 2001 were long and difficult. Which country organized Operation Yellow Ribbon and Operation Support? Was it France, Brazil, Canada, or Sweden? And Gary, you're first this time.
Oh boy, I have no idea. You give me one I have no clue on.
Well, you got a hint that you can take if you're not sure. You want to take the hint?
Sure.
All right. It's either they eliminated Sweden and France, so you got Brazil and Canada left.
Well, my first guess, if I had to guess, would have been Canada.
All right. So, Kingpin, Rob, you two concur, or do you think it was Brazil?
I would think Canada.
I'm going to say Brazil. Oh,
You're
sorry.
up. Yeah,
My bad, Rob.
You both got your answers in. Rob said Canada, and then you said Brazil, so it goes to Canada because you're outvoted, Kingpin. Do you recall who was the New York City mayor at the time of the 9/11 attacks of 2001? Was it Bloomberg,
Michelle Obama.
Giuliani, Pataki, or Rosenbaum? Rob?
I believe Giuliani.
All right. Gary, Rob, do you concur? Or
Yes.
Yep. Don't call me Rob again.
Rewrite.
did I call you Rob?
Yeah,
Yes.
you said Gary Rob.
Oops. What was the name of the winning design for the World Trade Center site memorial competition? Is it dual memory, reflecting absence, inversion of light, or suspending memory? I think it's your turn, Kingpin, right?
They talk about the lights that they put up in the air that look like the towers used to be.
I guess.
Yeah, I know I thought those are just lights. I didn't know that had a name.
I didn't either. You want the hint?
No, I'll let one of the other guys because remember we still don't know how many hints you can take. So I'll wait and let the rest of the
Well, I think you get
hint every question.
I think you get 3 of them per quiz.
All right. Well, I'll let the other guys make the decision if they decide to take the hint. Then
What do
I'm
you
cool
guys
with
think?
that.
You guys want the hint,
Yeah.
Rob?
I got a guess, but honestly, I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I do too, but I'm not 100% certain on it.
So you want the
What
hint?
are your
then, Rob?
guesses? Before don't hit. What are your guesses?
My guess would be inversion of light.
I would have went with number 2.
So you were not sure.
So you
Yeah,
want the hint?
I was thinking reflecting absence because that sounds stupid, and that's the kind of thing that they would do.
So do you want to go with that as your answer, or do you want the hint?
No, I want the hint.
I like it. So that's still there. So do you want to go with that as your answer?
For me personally, that's the answer that I would go with.
All right, Gary and Rob, what do you think?
I'm good with it. I'm not 100% certain.
I'd go with it. I don't know. It's what I would have picked.
We're going to find out.
Jason says dangling participle. No, that wasn't a choice.
Shoot, man.
Do it.
Waiting to see if anybody else gives an answer before I do.
Do
Remember,
it.
they're on delay. Did I say you could be Obi?
That's the people in the chat ain't like be playing.
Somebody's
along.
got to be.
All right, let's see.
We got them all right.
Yeah, no, it was 94 and 98. You guys were close. It was between floors 94 and 98.
Oh, it's not bad.
We were close.
I won't
And-
make any hand grenade jokes.
I have
It's all right. I
this-
screwed mine up too.
yeah, it was Marwan Al Shihi. I mean, Muhammad Atta is probably the easiest one of those names to pronounce.
Yeah. He's the one that the news talked about the most.
Because he was like the mastermind. He was their leader. Now you got this one right. You got it was Manhattan. Jason said Queens.
Got the other guy right.
Ground Zero obviously was correct. Only 96% of people got that one right.
Wow.
4% of the people that answered this quiz should be embarrassed and ashamed of themselves.
Well, let's assume they're like little Chinese kids that just got on the internet, and this is the only thing that they could pull up. So they just took a shot.
Uh-huh. So what you're saying is Chinese kids are stupid.
Why would a 7-year-old Chinese kid know anything about 9/11?
You don't know what they teach over there.
I can assure they're not teaching American patriotism over there.
No, but they can still be teaching about the Pentagon. See, this is Ground Zero. This is how we know the Americans are weak.
Can we continue, please?
Jakeman's like, I'm not even going to respond to that.
Well, I mean, hey, if you're trying to get your channel taken down tonight, just say so, man. We'll get it done.
Yeah, and it was the Pentagon that was hit by Flight 77. In Pennsylvania is where 93 went down. And it was St. Paul's Chapel Trinity Church. Good job, Kingpin.
Nice.
And it was Canada.
Wow. My guess was right. Was it?
Girls in Brazil are better.
And of course, it was Giuliani that was the mayor. Pataki was the governor, and I don't know who the hell the other two were. And it was reflecting absence.
Wow.
Logic.
You do
I
too
told you.
bad. All in all.
You guys got 8 out of 10. You did fairly well. You beat the average. The average
All
was
right.
7.
We're above average, guys.
Whoop, whoop. Nice.
That's the first time that ever happened.
Well, you had a New Yorker. I mean, and it was about New York. That's what I mean with that. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
that might help a little bit. at least in this one.
Were you
Right.
even alive when 9/11 happened?
Alrighty. So, Gary, your turn to pick a category. You see the categories on the screen?
Yeah, I'm looking here. Uh, let's do. Let's do the Great Depression.
Great Depression. Gary just wants to do that one because he remembers it.
Yeah.
All right. So we got Great Depression in America. Remember, the difficulty is over here on the right-hand side. Got the Great Depression in America, the Great Depression in general. Are you familiar with the New Deal? Another one is just called the Great Depression. The New Deal, Great Depression programs, people's history of the Great Depression, and the New Deal agencies. Which one y'all want to do? Gary, which one of those do you want to do?
Do the first one. Why not?
When did the stock market crash occur? Was it November of 29, October of 29, December of 29, or October of 39? Gary, you go first this time.
Oh God. I'm thinking October 29.
All right. Rob, Kingpin, do you agree?
I agree with Gary.
I feel like it was December, but we'll see.
All right. All of these were causes for the Great Depression except for one. Which? The end of World War I caused loss of jobs, bad banking structure, margin buying, or too much capital invested in stocks. Rob, what do you say? Which one isn't a cause of the Great Depression?
I think they want me to say bad banking structure.
So you think bad banking structure wasn't a cause of the Great Depression? Okay.
Well, I think that's what they would want me to say.
What do you think? Who cares what they want you to say?
That's my answer.
All right, Kingpin, Gary, do you agree with him, or do you think it was something else that wasn't the cause?
Well, the end of World War One would have been several years before that. So
Mm-hmm.
that would have been my guess.
Okay. What do you say, Kingpin?
Yeah, the end of the war.
Okay, so mark that as the answer. The crash of 1929 caused the Great Depression. True or false?
This is
Kingpin,
another one of these fraudulent questions here.
what do you say, Kingpin? True or false?
I'm not answering this question because it's fraudulent. That's a stupid question, and
That doesn't mean it's fraudulent.
but there's both answers are true because you could, if you want to talk about, it says the crash of 1929 caused the Great Depression.
Yes, true or false?
So, well, man, false.
Okay, Gary, Rob, do you agree or disagree?
I
Well,
guess would have been true, but I'm not 100% positive.
yeah, it's one of them things where I think they'd want you to say true.
Sounds tricky.
Pass the test.
Well, let's go back up here to the first one. You got the stock market crashed in 29. So, and this is about the Great Depression. Why would they ask you about the stock market crash of 29 if it didn't cause the Great Depression?
Yeah, my guess would be true on that one.
And by the way, that this question down here eliminates this answer from the first question.
I knew that wasn't right.
Yeah. Bernie's in the house. What's going on, Bernie? No, it's a fraudulent question, Rich, and you know it. You're a history major. You know that there's more nuance to where both of those answers are correct.
And not really. Which of these authors was known for writing books set during the Depression? J.R.R. Tolkien, Stephen King, Tony Galahad, or John Steinbeck? Gary?
Steinbeck.
Okay. Rob, Kingpin, do you agree?
No,
Yeah, I'll go with Gary on that.
Tolkien. That's where
Right.
the Lord of the Rings came from.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm serious. That's what he based the Lord of the Rings on, was his experiences through World War One. I'm not kidding. I don't know why you keep laughing.
Because I know the true answer to that. Lord Tolkien got the idea from Lord of the Rings. But anyway, which of these was president during the early years of the Depression? Herbert Hoover, Calvin Coolidge, Harry S. Truman, or Abraham Lincoln? Okay.
So I still don't understand what's so funny about Tolkien and the World War One thing.
Nothing.
Well, you got your phone near you, Rich?
Yes, I have my phone.
It's not ringing.
Kingpin's about to call me and chew my ass all over the phone so you guys can't hear. Anyway, who was president during the early years of the Depression? Rob, this is your turn. Was it Hoover, Coolidge, Truman, or Lincoln?
I'd say Truman.
Okay. Uh, Gary, Kingpin, do you agree or do you think it was somebody else?
Truman wasn't president until the end of World War II, so definitely not. I'm guessing Hoover.
All right.
Yeah,
Kingpin?
I'm gonna agree with Gary on that.
Yeah. I can tell you when each of these guys was president if you want to know. But
Yeah, Lincoln was in the 1860s.
yeah, 1860 to 1865. Or 1861, he was elected in 1860. So definitely not during the Great Depression. Who were Okies? A person that traveled to Oklahoma as a salesman, trees that supplied cheap wood for farmers, migrant workers from Oklahoma and other states in the Dust Bowl, or an American baseball team? Rob? No, it ain't Rob's turn, is it? No.
Yeah, probably go first. Why not?
Not you, because it's your turn.
We're
Who
talking
did
about
the last
Oklahoma.
one?
My answer is going to be the gun snob. Duh.
No, we know Gun Snob's an Okie, but that's not a choice.
That's my choice.
All right, so we're just going to disqualify a Kingpin. Gary, what's your story and answer?
My answer would be the migrant workers from Oklahoma.
All right, Rob, do you agree since Kingpin is insisting that it's Gun Snob?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Eleanor Roosevelt was one of the publicly least active first ladies of the 20th century. None of these, shouldn't that be the last answer? FDR's sister who had a rebellious ideas, or a famous inspirational painter during the Depression. Rob, which one of those is the answer here?
I'd go with none.
You say none. Kingpin, Gary, do you two agree with him?
Eleanor Roosevelt was FDR's wife.
Yes.
So the answer would have to be the first one.
Are you sure? She does, because that's, I mean, one of the publicly least active first ladies of the 20th century. So,
Of the 20th century.
yeah, but
As opposed to
yeah, I know, I know, but
as
just because
opposed
she was,
to Truman's wife.
yeah, that's not what I was doing. There.
I mean, that's the closest of the. It's either one or two, definitely.
Yeah, it's either one or two. We know that we know that we've established that fact.
I'm not
But
sure that she was least active. She was fairly active. I thought.
so that would be number two then, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As soon as he was in office, FDR with others immediately launched an economic program to try to boost the U.S. economy and to give hope to discouraged Americans. What was this? The new treaty, the New Deal, FDR's plan, or none of these? See, none of these should have been the bottom one up there too.
Told you these tests were fraudulent.
All right. Anyway, Kingpin, which one is it?
New Deal.
New Deal. Gary, Rob, do you agree?
Yep.
Yeah.
Many people lived in rows of shacks. What names was given to them? It starts with an H, and damned if I know.
Starts with an A.
Read the question.
Oh, I do know. I think
Well, it's your turn, Gary. What do you think it was?
Hooverville.
Hooverville?
Mm-hmm.
Hooverville. Wasn't there a TV show where they lived in Hooverville?
Close. It was Hooverville.
Yeah, I know. I was joking. It was a joke. What ended the Depression? The New Deal worked very successfully and ended the Depression? Bullshit.
Yeah.
World War II, the Depression eventually ran its course, or Truman came to office? Which one ended the Depression? Rob?
Yeah, AOC should sue FDR for copyright infringement because she's got the Green New Deal and he had the New Deal.
Hey, remember, Biden watched FDR's fireside chat on TV in 1929.
Yeah. He was traveling with Barron Trump. You know, they're time travelers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so which one is it, Rob?
World War II.
All right. Do you two agree?
Well, it all depends on how they define the end of the Depression. Once the war started, I mean, are they talking the beginning or end of World War II?
I don't think it matters. Just the war in general.
That's what got us out of it,
But that's what the question is.
but it wasn't ended until after the war was over. But yeah, okay, I agree. World War II.
Oops.
Sometimes they're kind of picky on how they choose answers to these.
I'm trying to warn you, Gary. That's a fraudulent test, man.
Well, if this is honest, World War II will be the answer.
Let's check the target and see how we did.
Yep, and it was October of 29. And the correct answer was the end of World War I caused the loss of jobs. That was not one of the causes of the Depression. That was over a decade before the Depression started. The war ended in 1918. The crash of 29 caused it, they said. The crash only triggered it. Okay. Stop. Look, okay. The crash of 29 caused the Great Depression. Here says the crash only triggered it. Here they're giving the answer as being false. No, that would be true.
Clearing my throat over here.
Yeah, but you were still wrong because it's
No. I was not. I
it,
answered
it
false.
caused it.
I answered false.
Yes, I know, and they're wrong. They're even in their explanation of the answer, they admit that false is wrong.
So then, in your explanation of your answer of their answer, you're admitting that I was right.
No,
You guys
because
got
their
rigged
answer's wrong, so
scores,
therefore
rigged
you were
quizzes.
wrong. The answer is true. The crash, if the crash triggered it, the crash caused it. So it's like, Jesus Christ. Right.
I'm sorry you guys had to be witness to this.
And Steinbeck is the correct answer.
Okay, so what was so funny about Tolkien?
There's more to it than what you said.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to. The guy wrote 50 books. Am I going to sit here for 3.5 hours telling you everything about Tolkien?
Well, do you know what the actual impetus for him writing the books were?
No, I do not.
Okay. It was a bet between him and I can't remember his name now, but the guy that did the Narnia series.
Who could just make up the most stuff or something like
C.S.
that?
Lewis.
Yeah. Yeah,
Who could do the best Christian allegory novel series?
I think Tolkien won that.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings is better than Narnia. Narnia was more set for kids than it was, but whereas Lord of the Rings, it was a much wider audience that could read those books.
Okay, I like Lord of the Rings just as much as any of the the nerdy guys out there that like the stuff. But who Tolkien didn't write 15 lifetimes of some obscure orc that was only seen once ever. How do all these nerds know that Dwarf Clinton was the son of Aquarum Fem and all? Like, I mean, these people can go on for hours and hours and
Because
hours.
in some of the other books, Tolkien does give the lineage of certain characters that far back.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, dude, some of these videos that I've watched are like, you're making it up. You're just inventing words as you go along, right?
You know, Tolkien invented an entire language for those books, right?
Yeah.
The Elven language is real. He invented the Elven language for those books. There is a Elven dictionary that he actually wrote that his son had published after his death.
I know.
It's crazy. He really went in depth with it.
Let's move on before Gary and Rob drop out.
Okay. And it was Hoover that was president during the early years of the. And Okies were not gun snob. It was the migrant workers from Oklahoma and other states in the Dust Bowl.
That whole sentence didn't say the gun snob, Mystic Guns, or Big Al. That's so fraudulent.
No, it doesn't say Winston Probst either.
That was say. Again, you just admitted I was right.
And the answer was none of these for the Eleanor Roosevelt question.
Wasn't she like a huge pain in the ass anyway? That, like half the time when the dude was too sick, she was basically running the office.
No. That was Woodrow Wilson's wife and his wife.
All right, I know it was one of those guys.
And the answer to the next one was the New Deal.
Lawsuit.
And Gary was correct. It was Hooverville.
Go, Gary.
After I thought about it a little bit, I remember reading that somewhere.
That's pretty cool that you knew that. I would have said like something else, but that was.
There is an advantage to being somewhat old.
And the Depression was stopped by World War II.
Well, except for that one, we did all right.
Yeah. You got 9 out of 10. Good job, guys. Well, actually, you got 10 out of 10 because that one with their answer was wrong.
Yeah, that was crap.
Yeah, well, technically, I got 11 out of 10 because I got the one that you guys got marked wrong. I would have got it marked correctly. Plus, you guys didn't say Big Al, Weston Probst, Mystic Guns, or the Gun Snob for the Okie question, and they gave you a correct answer.
Uh-huh. They got 10 out of 10. Kingpin did not. So, yeah. All righty. So, we go back over here. Go back to the first page. And now, Kingpin, pick a category since you passed the first time.
All right, let me see. MK Joe, if you're out there, help me pick a category. Hurry up. 15-second delay.
Well, it takes 10 seconds for him to hear the chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking we might go. Yeah, let's go Old West because I heard some idiot running their mouth about how violent and lawless the Old West was. Complaining, some guy in another country complaining about how America was stupid because it was lawlessness in the Old
That's
West.
all they heard about overseas. That's why. That's all newspaper men would write about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they got a bunch of
Pretty
them.
boring, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Look at that. Before I told you MK Joe was solid people. He even said Old West.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. But at the same time you said it, is when that popped up. So I thought maybe you had already read what he said. All right. So we got the American Wild West, Gunfighters of the Old West, Legends of the West Doc Holliday. Oh no, it's a legendary gunslinger. American Wild West, Violent Death in the Old West, Outlaw or Hero, you decide. Desperado, Wild West, Saloon Girl Cindy in Old Dodge City. So let's see. Legends of the West, The Sundance Kid, The Life of Jesse James, Fastest Mail in the West, and mail as in the letter system. Apparently that's about the Pony Express. Battle of the Little Bighorn, The Real Wyatt Earp, Women of the Old West, The Wild Wild West, The Legendary American West, When the West Was Wild, Outlaws of the American West.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
Jeez.
We gotta pick. We can't go through.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how many of these are there?
I was like 10. Oh, 15,
63.
20.
63 of them. Holy hell.
Yeah, but let's pick like the top 5 or 10.
So,
I think Rob's back.
which one do you want to do here?
Yeah,
Kingpin?
Rob's back. What do you think, Gary? Or Rob?
I don't know. Wyatt Earp one sounds kind of good.
Do you know much about the Old West, Rob?
No.
All right, let's go with the Wyatt Earp thing.
Now I gotta find it.
We'll make an exception if it's
The
past.
Real Wyatt Earp, this one here.
Real Wyatt Earp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Ooh, that's a tough one too.
Oh,
He's one of the few that actually survived into the 20th century, though. So lots known
Yeah.
about it.
I was gonna say something, and I thought, oh, wait, that might be a question, so I better not. Where in what year was Wyatt Earp born? Dodge City, Kansas, El Paso, Texas. Oh, Kansas in 1853. It's right. They went the year too, though. It doesn't really matter if I say the year since they're all different places. El Paso, Texas, Monmouth, Illinois, or New York, New York. Rob, you're first.
No idea. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to say New York, New York.
Okay. Gary Kingpin, do you agree with him? Or do you think it's
Illinois.
somewhere else?
Pretty sure.
Okay. What about you, Kingpin? What do you think?
Blazing Saddles.
That wasn't even a city.
I know. I just wanted to say it because Jason typed it out there. I'm going to go with Gary because Rob said he doesn't have any idea, and Gary seems to have some interest in the topic. So I'm going to agree with Gary.
Okay. What was Wyatt's first job? Job, not jobs, idiot. Job.
Hey, that's
one
Barack
of his
Obama's
first-
favorite 3-letter word, JOBS.
Uh-huh,
Joe
Yeah,
Biden told me
right.
that.
uh-huh. So was he a logger, a bartender, a cowhand, or a teamster, Kingpin?
Did you say me?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. What was the last one? A Teamster?
Yeah, teamster. In other words, he drove a wagon.
Oh, not like a union gangster.
No, but that's where the Teamster Union came from. Was
Oh, I guess he was a logger. I don't know.
Gary, Rob, do you agree with him?
I would have went cowhand, but I'm really just guessing.
What do you think, Gary?
I just really don't know, to tell you the truth.
You guys want the hint?
Sure.
All right. Logger and cowhand were both eliminated. Was he a bartender or a teamster?
I don't know. I thought that the guy was kind of straight edge, so I wouldn't think he would be a bartender.
I didn't know Teamster existed back.
Well, teamster was a guy who was like drove a wagon in like the wagons that would deliver supplies and stuff.
I'll go with Teamster.
That might be, yeah. That sounds logical then.
What famous lawman worked with him on the Dodge City Police Force? Was it Pat Garrett, Bat Masterson, Wild Bill Hickok, or Bill Tillman? Gary?
I'm thinking Bat Masterson.
Okay. Rob, Kingpin, do you agree?
Sure.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Pat Garrett. It definitely wasn't Hickok. Not really too sure who Titeman was.
Tillman.
Right.
Bill Tillman was one of the toughest deputy U.S. Marshals ever.
Yeah, like if
But
if I watched the TV show about him, I'd be like, oh, I've seen this TV show about this guy 100 times. But just right now, I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm going to agree with Gary and say Bat Masterson.
I'll eliminate Bill Tillman right now because he worked in the Oklahoma Territory most of his career. According to Wyatt Earp, where did he meet John Doc Holliday? Deadwood, South Dakota, Fort Griffin, Texas, Los Angeles, California, or Prescott, Arizona? Rob?
Prescott,
And so they were visiting the Ruger factory?
maybe.
All right. Gary, Kingpin, do you agree or think it was somewhere else?
I would have guessed Deadwood.
Gary says Deadwood. So what do you think, Kingpin?
I'm a little bit torn here because, once again, Gary seems a little bit interested.
But
in
I'm
Gary.
not certain on that.
Yeah, I know, but I still feel a good vibe coming off your answer. But then again, I do love Arizona. I do love Ruger.
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
have the
agree with
right to
Gary.
be wrong, so
Oh,
none
so
of
you're-
us are certain.
You're going with Gary? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Only reason, see, Deadwood sounds too right. You know, it just sounds too much like the right answer.
Okay. Who was not involved in the shootout at the OK Corral? Was it Wyatt?
Me.
Yeah, hold on. Was it Wyatt, Morgan, Virgil, or James? And yes, it is your turn, Kingpin.
Oh no, I was just saying I was not involved. I want to
Oh,
make
yeah. Okay. But anyway,
who was not involved in the
yeah,
shootout?
which one of the Earp brothers was not involved in the OK Corral shootout? Wyatt, Morgan, Virgil, or James?
Captain Morgan.
So you say it was Morgan that wasn't there. Okay. Gary, Rob, do you agree with him?
I agree with that.
Sure.
On December 3rd, 1896, Wyatt was the referee of what marquee boxing match? Fitzsimmons versus Sharkey, James versus Thomas, Sullivan versus O'Reilly, or Granger versus Kemp? Gary?
I'm reasonably sure it was Sullivan versus O'Reilly.
Okay. Rob, Kingpin, do you agree?
I'm going with Gary.
Yeah, it's the Gary train, I guess.
Yeah, and infamously, Wyatt was accused of cheating during this boxing match.
Of course.
Which future superstar, while working as an extra and prop man, met and talked with Wyatt Earp? Joel McRae, John Wayne, Randolph Scott, or Gary Cooper? Gary?
Mine again?
Oh, no, Rob. Excuse me. Yeah, you're right. You did the last one. I saw Gary Cooper, and I just went back to Gary. Rob, which one of them?
I don't know. I'll go with Cooper.
Okay. Gary, Kingpin, do you agree?
I sure thought John Wayne met Wyatt Earp. Or at
Okay,
least there's a legend that he did, but I don't know if it's really true or not.
So Gary says John Wayne. What do you think, Kingpin?
Supposedly, that's why John Wayne walked with a limp.
Well, no, that's not why he walked with a limp. He walked with a limp because of a football injury he suffered while playing football at USC. And it was that limp that kept him from being able to enlist during World War II when all his friends were there, and that's what actually ended up making him as big a star as what he was. He was listed as 4F.
Or maybe he was just putting on.
What do you think, Kingpin? We got one answer for Gary Cooper and one for John Wayne.
Ozzy says the Duke.
Yeah. What's up, Ozzy? What's up, Tim S?
Jason says Scott.
I'll just go with whatever Gary said.
Okay, Gary said John Wayne. And I know the answer, but I can't say. How many times was he shot during his life? 2, 4, 0, or 7? What do you think, Kingpin?
I get a lot of these guys mixed up because they play their shows back to back to back to back all weekend long. So I start mixing them up. 7.
You think he was shot 7 times? Gary,
No, I don't think so, but that's the answer I gave.
do you want the hint?
Yeah, ask the rest of the teammates.
Sure.
I'd say 4, but
So it was not 7. It was either 0 or 4.
And what did he say?
Rob said 4. Kingpin said 7, so Kingpin has to answer again because his answer is clearly not the right one. So 4 or 0, Kingpin.
I know one of them didn't get a scratch on him.
Well, it says during his life he'd been probably in other gunfights besides this one.
Yeah, you know, he's down there in hell
0.
or heaven somewhere.
0.
You say 0, Gary? What do you think?
Well, I don't know different, so
You gonna go with 0?
sure.
Which 2 Western stars were pallbearers at his funeral on January 13th, 1929? See, there's the reason for the stock market crash right there. Wyatt Earp died in 1929. Was it Hoot Gibson and Wild Bill Elliott, Tim Holt and Gilbert M. Bronco Billy Anderson, William S. Hart and Tom Mix, William S. Hart and Tom Mix, or Johnny Mac Brown and Buck Jones? Whose turn is it? Gary, it's your turn.
Well, the only 2 that come to mind as stars were William S. Hart and Tom Mix.
Okay. So that's what you're going with?
Yeah.
All right. Rob Kingpin, do you agree?
I'd go with Gary.
Wasn't Buck Jones like the guy that drew cartoons and something like that?
That was
Buck
Chuck.
Jones was on Hee Haw along with Roy Clark.
Yeah, Buck Jones was on Hee Haw.
Whatever Gary said.
Who was quoted as saying, "No man can have a more loyal friend than Wyatt Earp, nor a more dangerous enemy"? Was it Ike Clanton, Doc Holliday, Bat Masterson, or Morgan Earp? Rob?
Doc Holliday.
Rob says Holliday. All right. Kingpin, Gary, do you agree with him?
Sounds like something he'd say.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? Okay, let's see. Give the crowd a chance here before I go and see the answers. All right, that's enough time. And Gary was correct. He was born in Monmouth, Illinois. And he was a Teamster.
Cool.
He worked as a Teamster hauling supplies during construction of the Union Pacific Railroad. He had also worked as a miner, buffalo hunter, farmer, and gambler. And it was Bat Masterson that he worked with in Dodge City. He, according to Wyatt, they met in Fort Griffin, Texas.
Really cool.
See, Deadwood sounded too correct. That's why I think that the other one still sounded just too correct.
And it was James Earp who was not at the gunfight.
I need to see some ID.
And it was Fitzsimmons versus Sharkey that was the
Well, hell.
Wyatt declared Sharkey the winner when everybody else thought it should have been
Okay,
Fitzsimmons.
I picked the wrong category, obviously.
And it was John Wayne. John Wayne and him were talking, and according to legend, Wyatt Earp is the one that convinced him that he should go into acting instead of being he was actually a stuntman and a prop man at the time, not an extra. But it was Wyatt Earp that convinced him that he should try his hand at acting. I'll give you guys a bonus question here. Do you know what kind of Western star John Wayne originally was before he became what everybody knew as the Duke? What type of cowboy did he portray?
What do they call those dudes that take a cow from Texas to Oklahoma?
Cowhand? No, wasn't a cowhand. Okay, I'll give you let me see. Was he a lawman, a singing cowboy, or an outlaw? Which of those did he portray first?
I guess I'll go.
Evening, Jason.
Hold on, Jason.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Ozzy says singing.
Yeah, Ozzy's right. He was a singing cowboy. John Wayne couldn't carry a note to save his life, so they had a singer dubbed over John Wayne whenever he had a singing part. And the correct answer for how many times Wyatt was shot was 0.
Maybe one of them, like, apparently, like, he never even got pushed or something like that. Like, he had no encounters of any kind in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not him, but I know one of those real famous guys had, like, a real easy life until.
So much for the Wild West.
Man.
Well, he had been shot at, just nobody could hit him. That was one of the legends of Wyatt Earp, was that he had a guardian angel that like had a shield around him or something, because in all the gunfights that Wyatt was involved in, he was never shot once. When he was doing the ride to get the guys that killed his brothers and then injured his other brother, one guy during the gunfight between Wyatt and 2 other guys, it was just Wyatt and 2 other guys, right? Wyatt was wearing one of those long duster coats. His duster was full of holes, and not a single one of the bullets touched him.
I don't know. I call bullshit, man.
No, it's true. There were witnesses and everything. This was all documented. That his duster was full of bullet holes through the sides of it, and none of the bullets touched him. Like when he would turn and the jacket would billow, bullets would be just missing him.
How do you know some of them holes weren't there before this all went down?
Because it was a brand new duster.
And you got the receipt?
Come on, Rob. Don't go. We're not playing conspiracy theory. But seriously, and there are multiple witnesses that said, yeah, he had just bought
I believe
this duster.
that's what they wrote, but I don't know.
Hey, crazier things than that have happened. But anyway, moving on to the next question. William S. Hart and Tom Mix was the correct answer. And it wasn't Doc Holliday who said that no man could ever more loyal friend than Wyatt Earp, nor more dangerous enemy. It was Bat Masterson who said it. You guys got 6 out of 10 on that one, which you beat the average score for that. I mean, met the average score. Most people get 6 out of 10 on this one. So.
I thought we'd get better than that with Gary. So
This was a tough one.
That was a tough.
this wasn't going to be one of the easy quizzes. This was one of the harder ones.
It's
So
kind of
6 out
fun,
of 10.
though.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. You guys did pretty good. All right. Whose turn? Gary, your turn to pick category, right? No, Rob. Rob.
Yeah,
picked
it's Rob's.
first.
Jason's chopped liver
Oh
around
yeah,
there.
Jason's here. I forgot Jason was in here. He
Let
hadn't said
Jason
anything.
play. Come on.
Has
man.
everybody already picked one?
Yeah, everybody else got to pick one, so now you get
go.
Any of these subjects here? Okay, let me
any
make
of
a
these
pick.
subjects right here. Yeah.
The pink ones we've picked, but they have other quizzes in them.
Yeah.
So.
If you want to pick one from one of the pink ones, you can.
Let's go. U.S. Wars 20.
All right.
Ooh, that could be fun.
So we're only going through the top 10 of them because there's like the Wyatt Earp, what are the Western one that we just did the Wyatt Earp one from? That had 65 quizzes in it. We're only
Yeah,
going with whatever the top 10 are.
This one has 20. Yeah.
So you got foreign wars of the United States. Famous history. Oh, by the way, over here on the right hand side, I don't know if you saw earlier. That's your difficulty level. So you got the foreign wars, famous historic battles, tales
Number
of
4.
turning. Number 4. You want this one? All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm assuming you got to say which war these battles were in.
Yeah, it
So-
looks like it.
The Battle of San Jacinto, was that the Spanish-American War, the Mexican War, Texas War of Independence, or the War of 1812? Jason, I'll let you go first.
Never heard of the Mexican War, but I'll go with the Spanish-American War.
All right. Do you other three concur, or do you think it was something else? Gary, what do you think? Is that the right one?
No idea.
Okay.
Tim S said 1812, and so I don't know. I've never heard of San Jacinto before, so I'll put 1812 down as my answer.
Rob, what do you think?
San Jacinto, by the way.
Somebody call Travis P11. Find out what San Juanito means.
I don't know.
It's Saint somebody or other. Anytime you see San, that's Spanish for saint. And Rob says he doesn't know, so you guys want to take the hint?
Sure.
Because you all said different answer. And you got 2 hints left after this. So that eliminated the Spanish-American War and the
Oh.
Mexican War.
Honestly,
I'll change mine to the Texas War of Independence.
Okay. Gary, what do you think?
That would have been my pick.
Okay. Rob?
Yeah, we go with that.
sticking with Tim. Staying with 1812. Then they're snobby. They cheated you earlier. I was witness to it. You have to watch the replay, and you'll see I stood up for you. And everybody on the chat, except for Jason, because he wasn't here yet, was it was bad.
No. You got to look at it logically, Kingpin. Unless you're trying to say Snob is as old as Gary, he was not alive for the Great Depression.
I
He
didn't
hadn't
say
been
that.
born
Well,
yet.
the way he actually thinks so sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So, moving on. The Battle of Germantown. Was that the War of 1812, the American Revolution, World War I, or World War II? Kingpin?
I got a joke, but I can't say it. MKJ will know, but I can't say it. Anyway, so Battle of Germantown.
Germantown's always a battle.
Yeah, you know. I would just take a guess and say it was part of the revolution.
All right. The other three agree with him? Gary, was that in part?
One of the first two, but that would have been my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Revolution.
Love you too, Snobby. Hey, Mystic.
All right. Now, the Battle of Cold Harbor. Was that the Civil War, World War II, World War I, or American Revolution? Gary?
I'd be guessing on this, but I would say Civil War.
Did your other three concur or think it was a different one?
I'd agree.
Kingpin, Jason?
Uh, yeah, I'll go with the Civil War. But well, I don't know. The Battle of Cold Harbor. How much naval fighting was there in the Civil War? There's
More than
probably
people
more
think.
naval fighting in the American Revolution. So
There was a fair bit of naval fighting in the Civil War. Most people don't realize that. I mean, there wasn't any real major
Say they had
battle.
submarines in the Civil War.
Yeah.
okay, all right, you talked me into it. I'll go Civil War.
They weren't very cool submarines, but they had.
The Battle of Kesserine Pass. Was that
Ooh.
Korean War, Vietnam War, World War One, or World War Two? Rob, I think you go first this time, don't you? No, Jason does.
Yeah, it's Jason's turn.
Okay, I'll say World War II on this one.
All right. What did the rest of you say? Yes, no, maybe somewhere else?
What'd he say?
He said World War Two.
I've never heard of Catherine Pass. That's why I was thinking Korean or Vietnam, but it could have been. I don't know.
All right.
Can we get a hint on that?
You want the hint? Rob, Kingpin, you guys want to take the hint?
World War II.
Yeah, I'm down for taking a hint, but Kesselring sounds pretty German to me. So
Okay, it's either Korea or World War Two.
two live move. See
Yeah.
World War II live move.
I'm gonna have to look that up if it's a World War II battle.
So which one are you saying now, Gary?
Well, I'm gonna go with the group World War II.
All right. Battle of Buena Vista, the Mexican War, which is actually the Mexican-American War. Yeah. French-Indian War, Spanish-American War, or Texas War of Independence.
Wow, this is tough.
Kingpin, which one do you think it is?
Let's go with the Texas joint.
You think it was Texas? Okay. Gary, what do you think?
Wow, I have no idea on this one.
Okay. Rob, what do you think?
Vista.
Yeah. Buena Vista. It's definitely a Spanish name, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was during the Mexican or the Spanish-American War. So,
I'll go with A. Go with
I
Mike.
say the Mexican War. Okay. And Kingpin, which one do you think?
I picked Texas already.
Oh, did you? Okay. Well, you guys want the hint? Because I think you got a variety of answers here.
I never said Texas yet.
Oh, you didn't say one yet? Okay. So, is that what you're saying, Jason, Texas?
Yeah.
Just a quick programming note to everybody watching from home. Thank you for joining Unloaded Media on our quiz show night. The next quiz show will have a new host because Rich is going to get fired tonight.
It's my show. You can't fire me.
Hey, I know the boss. I'm going to talk to him. I'll be in his office.
I am the boss.
Make sure your phone stays close to you.
Kingpin's trying to get me to fire me. Look at this guy over here. I'll tell you what. All right. The Battle of the Drang Valley. Was that Vietnam, World War One, Korea, or the 7 Years' War? Well, I know which one it wasn't. Who goes first this time? Kingpin or Gary?
I'll let Gary go first, of course.
Okay. I couldn't remember which one of you was this was. Gary, what do you think?
If I had to guess, I'd say, oh boy. What in the world is the 7 Years' War anyway?
A medieval war.
I was gonna say.
That's why I said I know which one it wasn't.
Didn't they name one of those Israeli wars the 7 Years' War?
I guess would have
That was
been
the 7 days.
Vietnam if I had to
That was
guess.
a 7 days war.
Yeah, that was a 7 days war. Okay, Gary says Vietnam. You guys concur?
Good morning, Vietnam.
I say Korean.
So do I.
Oh, so we gotta go to the hint card. It is a split. And no surprise, the 7 Years' War was eliminated. You got Vietnam or World War One.
I'm gonna go with Vietnam.
Greg sounds pretty German, but I'm gonna go with Vietnam. No offense to any Germans out there. I'm talking about like old Germans, like not you guys.
The Incheon landing, was that during the Persian Gulf War? Which one? Which Persian Gulf War? There was two of them that the U.S. was involved in. Vietnam War, Korean War, or World War II? Rob, you go first this time.
I'm gonna say Vietnam.
All right. What do you think, Kingpin, Gary, Jason? Yes, no, maybe?
My guess would have been Korean.
Gary says Korean. Kingpin, which one do you think?
Oh man,
So I don't think they do two in a row that's Vietnam.
yeah, I'll go with Korea.
All right. Jason, which one do you think it is?
Yeah, I go with Korea. A landing at Vietnam doesn't sound right, and I don't recall hearing anything about that during the Persian Gulf War. So I'll go Korea.
It sounds Asian, like it'll be something over in like Korea or Vietnam or somewhere too.
Can I vote for Harley Race?
Wrong quiz.
Nobody
was
ever
yesterday.
brings up the Falklands.
Yeah. Well, the U.S. wasn't involved in the Falklands, so it'd be kind of hard. But Kingpin, Harley Race burned you every time you chose Harley Race yesterday.
Yeah, well, you don't want to get your channel taken down tonight, so I can't say what the Koreans have done to me tonight either.
They served you a dog? Is that what happened? All right. The Second Battle of the Marne, was that World War One, French Indian War, World War II, or the Civil War?
Whose is it?
It's Jason.
Oh, okay. I kind of know this one, dude. This was World War One.
All right. Do you guys concur?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Battle of Manila Bay, was that the Spanish-American War, Texas War of Independence, the Mexican War, or World War One? Oh my God! Seriously, this is so easy. This one.
Sounds more like spring break.
Didn't those guys get sued, like, for lip syncing or something?
No, that was Milli Vanilli. Oh,
No, it was Ollie Frazier because it was the Thriller in Manila.
the Thriller in Vanilla would have had to have been Madagascar because that's
Would have
where
had
most
to,
of the world's
yeah.
vanilla comes from.
That's true.
But I'll give you a hint. There were only two wars that the United States was involved in the Philippines, and three of those ain't one of them. You got to figure out which one is.
Do we have a guess yet?
Nobody's guessed anything yet.
Oh, well, I'll say the Spanish-American War.
Yeah, it would have been my guess too.
Kingpin, Rob, do you concur?
No, I'd say World War One.
What do you think, Rob?
I don't know this one. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, we got two for Spanish American War. Should we do the hint? This will be your third one, I think. For this, no, this will be the first. This will be the second one for this quiz.
How many questions?
It's 15. You got two hints left.
I don't care. You guys can take hints whenever you want. It's fine with me.
That's what I'm asking. You guys want the hint? You're the only one that's answered so far.
Yeah, go with the. Or I'd say hint, but
It says you already used them. This one we only used one hint.
There you go. There's the answer to that question.
Fraudulent tests.
Yep.
Oh, you used two.
No, we used them.
One
One there,
there.
one there, and another one.
Oh yeah, you did use all three. Wow, I wasn't aware. I thought you only used one or two.
We got to
Used
go
all
it
three.
alone.
Well, two of you said Spanish-American War. Two of you said something else. So you just want to go with Spanish-American War?
Next one's pretty easy.
Yeah, the Battle of Buscon. World War One, World War Two, Barbary War, or the War of 1812. The Barbary War, if you don't know, was where Jefferson sent the Marines into North Africa after the Muslim pirates.
Is that where we learned how to trim our hair and stuff? Barbary War?
No, that's the one where the Marines got the nickname the Leathernecks because they wore leather straps around their necks to protect themselves from the sabers from the Islamic cavalry.
No, it's where fine perfume came from. It's the Burberry.
Really, man, this one is kind of a famous battle. You should know by that name. World War II is my answer.
All right. Gary, you agree with them? Or you think it was somewhere else?
I think so.
Kingpin?
Bastogne sounds awful French to me. So I'm gonna go with World War II.
Right. So, Rob, I'm doing just for sake of argument, would you have agreed?
yeah.
Okay. What country was this doesn't even involve the United States.
Mm-mm.
What country was defeated by the Viet Minh at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu?
Djibouti.
They don't give us options.
Nope.
Djibouti.
I know the answer.
Use all the hints, didn't we?
Eat cannon.
There's no hint on this one. Anyway, Rob.
That's stupid.
I know the answer.
Well,
Put it in the box.
who was it?
I'm
Who
not the
was
one
it?
taking the quiz.
Who was
Cheat.
it that had all of like those Asian countries like that?
What
France
They
at
call
one
they call
time.
it something too. They call it
What?
like
What did you?
the French something or other. They call it the French.
French Indochina.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. Yeah,
So what country was it then?
France.
Oh, okay, but I can't give you the answer. I'm trying. I'm sitting here. Come on, guys, you're right on it. What is it? If it's French, it's
Why can't you give us the answer? Because you know the answer, or because you know what the
He
answer
said he knew
is?
the answer, I think.
I know the answer.
This thing.
Not that I know what their answer is going to be, but I know the answer to the question. is what I'm
Well,
saying.
then answer it when you want.
I'm not taking the quiz. You guys
So
are.
what? So what? Cheat. I don't think anybody here or in the chat's gonna tell on you. I promise.
True or false? During the Civil War, bayonet as the cause of death was still fairly high at about 20% of total casualties. True or false? Gary, what do you think?
20%? Bayonets in Civil War? I'd say falls.
All right. Kingpin, what do you think?
I think it's kind of a fraudulent question because the 20% I'm not sure about, but I would imagine that quite a few people. I mean, the guns weren't accurate. You fired it, and then the guy was 5 feet away from you, so it was time to start stabby. And then I guess a bunch of people probably died from cannons getting lobbed at them. So I'm gonna say that's true.
All right. Rob?
Pretty much same thinking as Kingpin. I think true.
All right. And Jason, you're the deciding vote here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm leaning toward that being true also because there was all single shot rifles, and they charged each other, and you only got the one shot in the valley. So I'm gonna say that's probably right.
Yeah, but Kingpin, I like your trying to logically figure it out, but the Springfield rifled musket was actually very accurate. The
Yeah,
situation,
but I mean, really, during the Civil War, how many people had decent rifles in the military? They probably had crappy stuff. The average everyday guy that was standing at the front line.
no, and on the Union side, everybody had at least a Springfield musket rifled musket, and those things were extremely accurate.
Were they that highly in production at the time to equip the army?
That's what most of the army was equipped with.
Well, that's what I'm asking you, if that's what the case is.
Yeah, that's what I said. Most of the guys at least had the Springfield rifled musket. There were a few other rifles that were also in use. You had there were guys that could afford it that had Henry rifles. You
But
had
you're also taking out
Spencer.
you have to take into consideration the load of crap in your pants because you're standing 20 feet away from somebody pointing a rifle at your face.
Yeah, but I'm
So
saying the
you might
rifle
not
in
be
and of
as
itself.
accurate as you think.
Yeah. Yeah, the rifle in and of itself is a very accurate rifle. Is what I'm saying.
I'm sure that's correct. Yeah, absolutely. But I still think that more people died from bayonet wounds.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there were quite a few people. I mean, that died from bayonettings. I mean,
Sound like a married couple.
okay, moving on. Which date is known as D-Day? June 6th, 1944, June 1st, 1944, June 7th, 1944, or June 2nd, 1944? Jason, what do you think?
This is pretty famous, man. So it's like June 6th, 1944.
Kingpin, what do you think? You agree with Jason?
I guess so. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, the 6th of June.
Rob, you agree with him?
Yep.
And Gary?
Yep.
And I concur as well.
Didn't the D in D-Day just stand for day?
See, you just answered the question, and you
I
wouldn't
didn't
answer one
answer
a
it.
minute ago, Rich.
No, you guys answered it. I just said, yeah, I agree with you. I didn't give the answer because I had already clicked. But, yeah.
He picks and chooses when he's going to put in input.
You guys had all already answered. I didn't then do
I've been
anything.
warning you guys about this character for a long time.
Uh-huh.
Damn rich guys.
All right, moving on. The Civil War battle. Kingpin, you should know this one. It's in your state. The Civil War battle of Sharpsburg is also known by what other name? Is it the Battle of Corinth, the Battle of Shiloh, the Battle of Antietam Creek, or the Battle of Memphis? Kingpin, which one is it?
I'm actually not 100% sure. I think Shiloh is in Pennsylvania.
No, Shiloh was no. The only battle in Pennsylvania was Gettysburg.
Oh, see, now you're making me even less sure.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
Yeah,
It's near Hagerstown.
Antietam.
Okay, Kingpin says Antietam. You guys agree with him?
No.
Yep. Yes.
G23's out there. Echo's out there.
Jason, you agree with him?
What would he say it was?
He said Antietam.
Yeah, it's Antietam.
Where was Shiloh then?
Christ, is that in Virginia?
I could have sworn that was in
Virginia, Tennessee, somewhere. It was in one of the southern states. The 7 Years' War is also known as what? The French Indian War, Barbary War, the Seminole War, or the War of 1812? And I know the answer to this, and they're going on a technicality here.
What's that? Say that again, Rich. What's
The
that?
7 Years' War is also
No,
known
no,
as
no.
what?
The other part. The other part.
I said they're going on a technicality.
Okay.
You missed part, though.
So, Gary, we'll go with you first. Which one do you think it is?
Oh boy. This is one I'm fairly weak on. Pretty sure it's not the Pretty sure it's not the War of 1812.
That didn't last anywhere near 7 years. The Barbary War didn't either, for that matter.
If I had to guess, the Seminole War, because I haven't seen that one in any other questions.
All right. Kingpin, which one do you think it is?
I'll go with Gary and say, "What's up to Guns and Barbecue?"
Gary didn't say what's up to Guns and Barbecue. He said the Seminole War.
Yeah.
I know, I'm being a smartass.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Jason?
I'm thinking the French War, French and Indian War.
Yeah, you guys are split. Rob says he doesn't know. You have 2 for Seminole War. So we're going to go Seminole War. And hitting the button. The Battle of San Jacinto.
Looking good.
Jacinto was in the Texas War of Independence. The Battle of Germantown was the American Revolution. Battle of Cold Harbor, Civil War. Battle of Kasserine Pass, World War II. Battle of Buena Vista was the Mexican-American War. Yep, I knew that. Sorry, guys. Battle of the Drang Hill Valley was Vietnam. The Icheon Landing was in Korea. Second Battle of the Marne, World War I. It was one of the last battles of the war. Battle of Manila Bay, Spanish-American War. One of only 2 wars that the U.S. was involved in the Philippines. Anybody know what the second one was?
World War II.
Yep, that should have been fairly easy. And Jason was correct with number 10. What country was defeated by the Viet Minh? It was France. Now, the reason why they put that in there was because the U.S. was paying 75% of France's war costs. True or false? During the Civil War, bayonet as the cost of death was still fairly high. That's false. Because of new
Told
advancements
ya.
and improvements in weapons, especially the rifle musket of 1862 and the new mini ball, which vastly improved range, fighting became more distant. Bayonet deaths accounted for only about 1% of total casualties.
Yeah, I
What a
answered
trick
false,
question.
and everybody else outvoted me. So,
I told you the rifles were accurate, Kingpin. You
there
wouldn't
you
argue.
go, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Mike's,
I tried telling you that the rifles were extremely accurate, and y'all just still stuck with that.
No.
I didn't.
That's
I
not
know
what
you didn't, Gary.
No, Gary.
You said it before I even tried convincing them.
Gary is correct. Gary said false right off the very beginning, and he stuck to his grounds. But you, Rich, you said that the
But the
rifles
rifles
very
were
accurate.
extremely accurate, is what
And I said,
said.
yeah, they were. And I said, were they produced that much for the military? And you said,
And I
yeah,
said,
they were.
yes.
Yes,
And I said, that's
they
pretty
were.
interesting. I wasn't aware of that. And then you said, let's move on. So nobody disagreed with you when you said, I just thought that people were scared and had a bad shot, and it was tough,
Yeah,
stressful
yeah,
situation
and
to
I
be
was
in. You
trying
only
to
got one
convince
round,
you that
and then
wasn't the
you poke the
case.
guy in the
You
face with
wanted
a
to-
stick, and he dies.
Yeah, but then you kept insisting that no, because
No,
the
I-
guys were scared. They weren't going to be accurate.
No, there was no insisting. There was just
Yeah,
stating
you did.
my
Yes, you did.
understanding of a war zone in the Civil War era. That
I
might be a little
believe
bit
you said you had the guy standing 20 feet away from you firing the rifle, and you were shitting your pants and you couldn't shoot straight.
Yeah. How about that? You don't think that was a thing? You don't think that was a thing?
Yeah, but it didn't lead to as many bayonet deaths as what you think it did.
You said yeah. That's all I needed. You
I
agreed
said,
with
yeah,
me.
maybe,
We can move on.
but there was a but in there, Kingpin.
We can move on now.
The but overrides your saying the other thing. You want to ignore the but part.
We can move on now.
Can't stick your butt in everywhere.
See?
I win.
No, you didn't. And yes, D-Day is June 6th, 1944. The Battle of Sharpsburg was Antietam, even though in the South they will still argue that it wasn't. And the 7 Years' War is the French-Indian War. Only as a technicality, European historians in particular say that it was part of the 7 Years' War because the 7 Years' War was taking place over in Europe at the same time. So you get the Europeans that will say that because of that, it is part of the French Indian War was part of the 7 Years' War, even though the causes and such of the 7 Years' War and the French Indian War were not the same. So it's a technicality.
What Rich meant to say was, "Good job, guys. You guys did a nice job on this one. You got 12 out of 15. Way to
I
go."
haven't got to that part yet. I was explaining why I said this one was a technicality, what the correct answer was. But yes, you guys did very well. You beat the average again.
Can you see the answers, Rich?
No.
Well, that just goes to show average isn't that good.
Yeah, I don't see the answers until I hit that button just like you guys. It's just one of my minors in college was US history. And we particularly from the period of the French Indian War to the US Civil War.
Well, I'm glad that education came in handy.
So let's see who's next. Who picked that one? Jason, you picked that one, right?
Yeah, that was my fault.
All right, Kingpin, pick a category.
All right, let's go. All right, the 20th century would be the 1900s, right?
Yeah.
Let's do that one. The last one on the list.
This one here?
No, the last one, yeah.
You saying 19 threw me off for a second.
No, the 1900s. So it'd be the 20th century.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Oh, it is.
Lord.
Because
the
the 19
70s looks easy.
remember,
Yeah,
the
it
20th
does.
century ended with 2000, but people just forgot how to goddamn count years.
All right, so far it seems like Jason and Gary are interested in number 2 right there. So if barbecue and Rob
one?
are cool with that, we'll go with number 2.
Number 2 from the
Yeah.
70s.
That's what you guys are looking at, right, Jason and Gary?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
answer is Farrah Fawcett and Daisy Duke.
All right, this one should be fairly easy.
I don't know if you can see, but
Oh,
you can
geez.
see.
Yeah, this
that's
one's
pretty
not too
easy.
far from you, right? Right, Jason?
Yeah.
Christ's
Yeah.
sake, why don't you just give it away?
Well, there's two different things in Ohio. It could be one of two different ones. Which college campus were 4 students killed during anti-war demonstrations on May 4th, 1970? We'll start with Gary on this one.
Kent State.
You guys agree?
Yeah, I agree.
I guess.
Hence the Crosby, Stills, and Nash song 4 Dead in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. And deservedly so. What historical first was celebrated on April 22nd, 1970, having to do with the environment in the U.S.?
Ain't that
First-
Hitler's birthday?
Yeah, I think it is.
This is 420.
420. You
Yeah.
sure?
Yep.
Is that why they do the pot thing on 420? Because Hitler?
No, it's just funny. That's why I remember it, because the people do the pot thing, and then it's just funny
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
Hitler's,
that was the joke. All the potheads are secretly Nazis.
if Hitler's born on pot day.
Is it 420, the California Penal Code for?
Yeah, I think that's what it actually is. But
Yeah.
still, it's funnier to say all the potheads are Nazis.
Earth Day.
They're secretly celebrating. Yeah, Kingpin says Earth Day. Gary, do you agree with him?
Yeah, because we just celebrated it last week.
Barbecue, you just came in. Do you agree with him?
Sure, I don't know what any of the options are, so we'll go with that.
Oh, you can't read that. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, okay. I'll read the answers to you. First Groundhog Day, first green
No, you don't
peas.
need to read these ones. It's Earth Day.
That was really, really funny that you just really. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't read.
Well, he's blind, not deaf.
I know, but if anybody who wasn't us like heard you say that, that this been like fun.
Yeah, if you were just out there.
He's illiterate.
He's illiterate. Had no idea.
Yeah, Guns and Barbecues are illiterate, everybody.
They're being
Patriot in darkness here.
Speaking of blind guys, you
I'll
say
say,
blind
speaking
guy,
of
Patriots.
illiterate
Just-
people.
All right, where are we? On June 7th, oops, I didn't want to do that, but yeah, it won't matter. On June 17th, 1972, a scandal rocked the nation. The names Dean, Haldeman, Ehrlichman were associated with this. What was the name of that scandal? Kingpin, what do you think? Ignore the fact that I had accidentally checked Watergate.
I wouldn't pay attention. I don't even know what we're talking about. I wasn't paying attention at all. So I guess Watergate's the answer.
Yeah, we're talking about Watergate.
Okay,
That's
then
gonna be my guess without even knowing the choices. So
Yeah, I ironically, I think, clicked the right answer.
hey,
Yes, it was a total complete accident that I clicked that.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, take a wild guess, and just go Watergate.
Oh, I know it's not the Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah, so yeah, we'll move on.
But why was it called Watergate? Does anybody know?
Yeah,
What's
it's like
that a
Watergate
reference
Hotel.
to?
Watergate Hotel.
There you
Hotel
go.
room. Yeah.
wasn't it something with a water bill, right? Yeah.
No.
DM Foss is here.
Nixon didn't pay his water bill, right?
No. Moving on to number 4. During which Olympic Games in 1972 did terrorists murder 11 Israeli athletes and coaches? The Israeli Olympics, the Greece Olympics, the Seoul Olympics, or the Munich Olympics? Guys on Barbecue? Which one do you think it is?
I don't even know what the Seoul Olympics is, so I'm going to go with that one. Seems like that's something that they want to just kind of sweep it under the rug and forget.
All right. Gary, what do you think?
I know it's the Munich Olympics. I'm pretty sure there's never been one in Israel. And other than the original Olympics, there wasn't another one held in Greece until many years later.
Yeah, not that long ago.
So, yeah, it was definitely Munich. Of course, I remember watching this on TV. It was horrible.
What do you think, Kingpin?
Yeah, I agree with everything Gary just said.
Jason?
Yeah, I think it was Munich.
Rob?
It was probably Guns and Barbecue.
It's Munich. I know that. They've made multiple movies and stuff about this.
Proctor versus Gamble.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Kramer versus Kramer.
Carmen versus Miranda. Wow, they got original with those two, didn't they? Oh, dear Lord. On January 22nd, 1973, the U.S. Supreme Court legalized abortion. No, they didn't. Due to what a decision? Carmen versus Miranda, Proctor versus Campbell, Doe versus Bolton, or Roe v. Wade?
I really like the Proctor versus Gamble option.
Carmen Miranda
Like
is a
that's pretty
funny
good.
one, too.
I don't get that one, sorry.
Okay, you know the in the cartoons, the lady that wore like the fruit salad on her head, the pineapples and all that? That was Carmen Miranda.
Oh, okay. I got you now.
So, which one do you think it was, Guns N' Barbecue?
Well, seeing I can't see the answers again, I'm going to have to just go from this giant thing of a brain I have and say Wade versus Roe.
Yeah, Roe v. Wade. Okay.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, Kingpin, you agree with him?
Yep.
Gary,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes, but I still doubt his lack of vision.
Jason.
Yeah, Roe v. Wade.
Okay, we're gonna make that a unanimous then. Yeah, and no, it did not legalize abortion. What Roe v. Wade says was that the doctor is protected by doctor-patient confidentiality, and therefore the bill that had been up, the law that was being challenged was being challenged based on patient-doctor confidentiality. It had nothing to do with the actual legalizing of abortion, which is why you now have states that are passing anti-abortion laws. And in the bill, the Supreme Court even stated in their decision that if the legislature, small L, not big L, passes a law banning abortion or stating that conception happens at whatever point, then from that point forward, abortion would be illegal at that point forward. Like if they were to say in the the second trimester is when it becomes a person in a legislature, right? In a bill that's passed, signed, put into law. Then from that point onward, the 14th Amendment applies, and the child could not be aborted without proper due process in the courts. That is what Roe v. Wade says. It did not outright legalize abortion. I'm sick and tired of people when they say that it legalized it. It did not legalize it. So, moving on. What nuclear power plant, this is right up Gary's alley, had radioactive leak on May 28th, 1979, which almost led to a meltdown? I know. Barbecue.
Yeah.
Is it
Something about an island that's like 3 miles long or some shit. I don't know.
Somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Do we all agree on that one?
Yes.
The 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
I'd hope Gizzard know this one.
Hey, I remember when it was
They
on
probably
the
have
news.
training videos at work and stuff for them. Where like, don't do this.
Yes.
Yeah, I had just turned 5 when this happened. I remember it being on the news at that time.
He had delayed our plant by 2 or 3 years because we had to go in and make changes after that.
Yeah, I had turned 5 years old 13 days before it happened. In 1978, residents of what city in New York had to be evacuated due to a dangerous toxic chemicals buried in the area known as Love Canal? Buffalo, New York, Niagara Falls, New York, Grand Island, New York, or Lackawanna, New York? Rob, this is your state. You tell us.
Known as what?
The Love Canal.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I don't know this one. I'd try to guess. I'd go with Grand Island.
You guys agree, or would you think of something else? Gary, what do you think?
I don't really.
I don't know.
I know it's probably not Buffalo or Niagara Falls because both of those areas are fairly well tourist attractions. But I don't know for a fact on
Yeah,
this.
remember, this is a different quiz, so your hints are back in play too if you need a hint.
Lackawanna is screaming at me for this one, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because Lackawanna is close to me. Actually, I think I'm closer to Lackawanna than Rob is. Actually, I'm closer to majority of those than Rob is.
So you guys want to use your hint since it's a split answer here?
I say it's Niagara Falls, man. Like, that's where you go for your honeymoon. That's where people go to get engaged. So the Love Canal sounds about right. I mean, there's nothing loving about Buffalo, New York, or
Hey man,
any of these other
if you love
places.
Buffalo wings, then you gotta love Buffalo, New York.
Literally was just going to go there. Good job, Rich.
So you guys want, like I said, you guys are split. So you want to use the hint?
Yeah,
let's
why
use
not?
it.
All right, Buffalo and Grand Island were both eliminated. So it leaves Niagara or Lackawanna.
Those were the two we were choosing between.
Well, Rob said Grand Island.
Yeah, Rob said Grand Island.
Rob's
So
wrong.
the New Yorker had his struck off.
So, what do you guys think now?
I mean, Niagara Falls does kind of make sense.
Yeah,
but,
with the
but is
reason-
Lackawanna like Indian for Love Canal?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what Lackawanna stands for.
Lackawanna means you're probably not getting much love because you don't want to.
I'll go with Niagara Falls. That's like popped at me first, so that's what I say.
Viagra Falls.
Viagra, Niagara. Lots of people probably take Viagra at Niagara.
Probably.
And the people out there in the chat aren't helping any.
They're asleep.
No, they're making jokes. So are we going to say Niagara on this one?
Yeah.
Rob, Kingpin, Niagara.
If you want. Between those two, I'd go Lackawanna, but I don't know. With the group, whatever.
Was it Niagara?
I don't know. We won't know until the end.
Oh.
On November 19th, 1978, what religious cult leader laid 900 of his members in a mass suicide? Suicide
Jim
via
Jones.
Kool-Aid.
Sorry.
Heaven's Gate.
Only one of these happened in the 70s. Was it Jim Jones and the People's Temple? David Koresh and the Branch Davidians? Marshall Applewhite and Heaven's Gate? Or Sun Myung Moon at the Unification Church? Gary, which one was it?
Jim Jones.
Everybody agree, Jim Jones?
Yeah, Jim Jones.
The Jonesboro Massacre.
Kingpin's still here. He hasn't said anything more.
Yeah, where'd he
Joe.
go?
Jonestown.
Well, he's
He
still
should be
here.
giving you a bunch of shit right now.
Jonestown is the only one.
That's where
really got it in.
that's where the phrase "drinking your Kool-Aid" comes.
Yeah,
from.
exactly. Yeah, that's why I said suicide beat by a Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the Jones people,
Yeah.
they're the ones that got it in. So
Yeah. These two were in the 90s, and this one was in the 80s, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it has to be Jim Jones. Damn it. Well, not that we don't already know that.
Also, just again, barbecue can't see the
I don't
answers.
believe
And
the
he,
Unification Church committed a mass suicide. To
Yeah.
my knowledge.
No, I don't think they committed a mass suicide, but that whole Unification Church thing was in the 80s, wasn't it?
yeah, none of them had 900 bodies, but Jim Jones.
yeah, Jim Jones was insane.
And Sun Myung Moon's son runs Car Firearms now.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yep.
So is that why everybody makes the giant fuss that they're trying to make a cult and blah blah blah?
No idea.
I've heard that a couple times now, and I mean now I guess that kind of makes sense to me. They're supposed to be building like a compound in Tennessee or some crap, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me since they're headquartered in PA.
Technically, they claim the son, basically the mother tried to take over stuff. There was trouble in the family when the father died, blah, blah, blah. The son didn't want to play ball the same way the dad did. So he was separated, and basically then there became conflict between the mother, the main church structure, and the kids. The kids separated, and the kids have been doing their own thing, the brothers. So, it's just there's some weirdness there, but at the same time, there is some separation, and so it's I don't know. I've looked into this a little bit recently due to some other things. There's some practices of the church which were questionable, this and that. The son doesn't do those. So, obviously people have different beliefs, but from what I've come across, they don't do anything that was necessarily shameful in the past. There's like a pilgrimage where people come here and donate money to the cause and for this new compound he's speaking of. But
what religion doesn't ask you for money? So, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? So I haven't made a decision on that yet. But, I mean, there's a lot on that. So, just so you're all aware.
Maybe. Moving on to the next question. What United States governor from a southern state was shot and paralyzed while campaigning for president in the United States in 1972?
Ah, crap.
George McGovern, North Carolina, George Wallace, Alabama, George Walton of Georgia, or Huey Long of Louisiana? What do you think, Jason?
Governor Wallace.
Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, it's Wallace.
Rob?
Huey Long disappeared and they never found him, didn't he?
Yeah, and that was before the 70s.
Yeah.
Is that the one that was like in that plane crash or something, and they just never found anything of it?
No, he was. Everybody from Louisiana for 50 years was a crooked, paid under the table politician.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and oh man, what actor played him in a movie? It was a made-for-TV movie on HBO.
Who? George Wallace?
No, not Huey Long. Damn it! I just had the name too, and then you asked
Teddy
me.
Long
And I
played him.
said Huey Long. I forget who it was. No. Damn it!
I think he played by Teddy Long.
No, he was played by Walter from The Big Lebowski. No, you're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole. Oh, John Goodman.
Oh,
That makes sense because Huey Long was a big old boy.
Mm-hmm. But does everybody agree that it's Wallace? Is that what I was getting?
If you refer back to the best documentary of this time, Forrest Gump even talked about George Wallace.
Yep.
AR Guns is here.
Evening AR Guns.
Evening, AR.
hola. Buenos noches, mi amigo. He's probably sitting there like, I don't speak that.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, where were you 15 minutes ago when we had the hard Spanish questions?
Who
You had
was
Spanish questions?
war names?
Oh,
We're probably going to have to take the hint on this one, Rich.
I don't think so.
Who was killed on her way to meet with a reporter for the New York Times to reveal evidence of unsafe and illegal practices at a nuclear power plant called Kerr McGee? Was it Norma Ray, Karen Silkwood, Karen Ann Quinlan, or Patty Hearst? I know the answer. I'm sure, I think Gary does.
Amelia Earhart.
No, I know the answer. I can even tell you who played her in the movie.
Yeah, so could I.
Was it Long Tall Sally?
Yeah.
I could give you the name of the movie. That'd be a pretty good hint right there.
Yeah, I think that would be a dead giveaway. So I know what Gary's answer is because it's my answer. Jason, I'm assuming, knows as well. Yeah. I think
It
it's
ain't.
this one.
No, it's the first one.
No.
No, it's
And yes, it was Kent State where the National Guard opened fire on students. And you notice how they don't say that the students were throwing rocks at the National Guard before the National Guard defended themselves?
No, I believe the bell rang that class was out and the doors opened and the kids came out. I think that's what happened.
No. I believe what happened was the students were rioting, trying to take over the college. The National Guard was called in to quell the riot, and the students decided they were going to throw rocks at the National Guard before members of the National Guard opened up on them because they were throwing rocks at them.
The Summer of Love.
Mm-hmm.
Chaz.
No, that was the Summer of Love was a Chaz, yeah. That was the second Summer of Love. And yes, it was Earth Day that was first celebrated on April 22nd, 1970, to the woe of
Almost missed
men.
that one.
And yes, I accidentally correctly picked the Watergate. Oops. This thing's mouse, but this mouse has a hair trigger on it. So
Nowadays, they just hack your server.
mhm. During which Olympic Games was it that the terrorists murdered 11 Israelis? It was Munich. The Seoul Olympics didn't happen until 1988.
Oh, yeah, like I said, I never heard of the Seoul Olympics, so I didn't realize that anybody died during the Munich Games. So
Yeah, one of the funniest things I ever saw at the Olympics happened at the Seoul Games. There was a boxing match between. Oh, let me set this up better. In the boxing event, right? They had multiple boxing matches going on at the same time in the gym in different rings. You had a Korean boxer taking on a U.S. boxer, and the stupid Korean boxer hears a bell go off in one of the other rings, stops boxing, and the American just punched the shit out of him, knocked him dead out. And they got him recuperated, and instead of saying the American won because the Korean did something stupid, they restarted the match. The American still won, but
I said I've seen stuff like that happen in wrestling matches at tournaments. Whistle will blow, the guy will stop, and next thing you know, the coach is yelling, "What are you doing? Go, go, go!" And too late.
yeah, but as soon as the American was already starting to throw the punch, and then he hears the bell and he puts his hands down, he gets clocked and just fell straight to the mat.
I feel like they shouldn't have restarted that, because if he's dumb enough to not hear his bell and stop at somebody else's, he wasn't going to be a gold medalist anyways.
Yeah.
Well, either way, he got his bell rung.
True story.
And the next one was obviously Roe v. Wade, and then 3 Mile Island, and the Love Canal was in Niagara.
Look at that.
The New Yorkers got it wrong.
The city of love.
That's Philadelphia.
Oh my God! Look at the name of the chemical plant. Would you? Somebody's got to read this for Guns and Barbecue.
The Hooker Chemical Plant, located in Love Canal, New York.
Nice.
You can't make that up.
Open all night.
And it was Jim Jones and George Wallace, and it was Karen Silkwood. That's a 10 out of 10, guys.
I thought it was Norma Ray, man.
We're pretty awesome.
No, Norma
Good
Ray
thing
was a
nobody
union
listened to
person.
New Yorker, eh?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's like a sewing machine shop or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She's a fictional character, I believe.
So give
No,
yourself a round
Sally
of
Fields
applause.
was
You got
real.
all 10. You like me. You really like me. Give yourselves a round of applause. You got all 10.
Hell yeah, we have very big brains.
No, at least when it comes to the 70s. So
It was a great time to be alive, unless you were at Jonestown
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Unless you were
or the Love Canal.
Or
Yeah.
my own one.
yeah.
Or a fetus.
Yeah, bad time to be a fetus.
But other than that, I mean, if you weren't any of those things, great time to be alive.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Only reason I'm here is because the news traveled slow.
All right. So go back over here. Let's see. Who wants to pick one? Who hasn't? Barbecue. You haven't picked one yet, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, let's have barbecue pick one.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see the categories or not.
I can't see the categories, so I was elected to lead, not to read. Number 7.
Number 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Historical
After 7.
dates. All right. So pick a number between 1 and 10, barbecue.
3.
3. All right. We got basic North American history.
Well, if we get this wrong, we suck.
Hey, it says there's a time limit on this stuff.
I can make it a time limit, yeah. But we would have went over the time limit every time so far. So that's just, no, we're not going to do that. The War of 1812 ended in 1814 with the signing of what? The Fundamental Orders of Connecticut, the Mayflower Compact, the Albany Plan of Union, or the Treaty of Ghent? Which one is it? Guns and Barbecue.
Treaty of Ghent? I'm not 100% sure on that one, actually. Apparently, I suck.
You're going to guess the Treaty of Ghent?
That's what I'm guessing, but I'm hoping somebody else who's smarter. Gizzard was alive during this.
What do you think, Jason?
I'll go with that. The Treaty of Ghent.
Nope. Kingpin?
It's Ghent, by the way.
Ghent, whatever. I forget the pronunciation of that word. I always do. Kingpin?
Yep.
Rob?
Rob said he had to bail out.
Oh, did he?
Oh, what a slacker.
He was the one person that got the New York question wrong, so he took off in embarrassment.
So what do you say? It says Treaty of Ghent.
Well, actually,
Ghent?
Rob got it wrong twice because first he picked Grand Island.
Yeah, I
and
know.
then he went with me and picked Lackawanna.
Uh-huh.
But after hearing Jason's reasoning, I was like, Jason's probably right.
Ghent. Did you say it was Ghent, Gary?
Yes, Ghent.
Like I said, I always forget how to pronounce that word for some reason.
GH
know
is
what it is.
pronounced as a hard G generally.
So, yeah, everybody's saying Treaty of Ghent then?
Look at that. We're a bunch of smart people.
In government, the term bicameral, which can be used to describe the legislative branch, means what? Having at least 2 secretaries of state, meeting consult the Constitution during court, having 2 houses, or having 2 Supreme Court justices. Kingpin, which one is it? Do you know? Talk to me, Kingpin.
I'm trying to pick. I can't see the dang screen.
Okay. I'll read the question to you again. In government, the term bicameral, which can be used to describe the legislative branch, means what? Having at least 2 secretaries of state, needing to consult the Constitution during court, having 2 houses, or having 2 Supreme Court justices.
I think it's the 2 houses thing.
All right. Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, the 2 houses. The bi kind of means 2.
Gary?
That's the correct answer.
Barbecue?
I concur.
What's the only state to have a single cameral legislative branch?
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yep.
What's
Which
it
is called a
Because-
unicameral.
I was going to say, because
Yeah,
it's called a single camera.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what the proper term was. So I was like, we'll call it
That's
single
pretty
camera.
much a giveaway. What bicameral means.
Yeah. Well, Jason already said what bicameral meant. All of the Iroquois had formed one central government known as the League of the Five Nations. However, they were also called this: the Court of Five Houses, Party of the Iroquois, League of the Iroquois, or League of Five Justices. Which one is it? We'll go Gary.
Stomp still out there? I need his.
I can't see this, but with the way Rich is pronouncing it. Is it spelled IRIQ?
Iroquois.
Yeah,
like,
thank you.
Like the Indian.
I was giving. You guys are doing the English pronunciation. I was doing the French pronunciation.
We're doing the proper pronunciation.
Well,
Yeah.
the French
We
pronunciation
went to
is the
war.
proper
We're
pronunciation.
not in France.
Yeah, the Iroquois, like the helicopter.
You're right, Rich. You're just an asshole.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's just an asshole.
Or however the hell that goes. I don't know.
I used to have that as my ringtone a long time ago. So. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole. I got looks on school trips when that would happen. Yeah, when chaperoning the kids' trips and my phone rings and it says, "You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole." Anyway. So, whose turn is it to go? I don't even know. Oh, barbecue. That's what I think. That's what I said.
I want to go with League of the Iroquois.
Okay.
I think that was one of the options.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. What do you think, Gary?
I don't have any idea on this one.
Kingpin. You got any idea?
A Court of the Five Houses, the Party of the Iroquois, League of the Iroquois. I'll go with the League of the Iroquois.
Okay. Jason, what do you think?
It's got Iroquois in it, so I guess we'll go with that one.
Like I said, I'm not even sure what this one is.
Sure, we don't want to burn our help
Well,
thing
do
then?
you guys want to use the hint? You can.
It could be the Five Houses because it says League of Five Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. I don't know. I still stick with the one that says Iroquois in it.
Everybody concur with Jason, or you guys want to use the hint?
I'm good with it.
Okay. What happened on April 12th, 1861? The Missouri Compromise came into effect. Cornwallis surrendered Yorktown. You're a little late for that.
Evil.
Fort Sumter was attacked by the Confederacy, or Harriet Beecher Stowe published Uncle Tom's Cabin. I'm telling you, it's not the second one. I'll give you that hint.
This is what started the Civil War, right?
So you want to go with Fort Sumter then, Jason?
Yeah, because like April 12th, 1861.
That
That
makes
was like,
sense.
yeah. And Fort Sumter is what started it, so I'll go with that one, yeah.
Sumter.
Fort Sumter. Everybody agree?
Guns don't kill people. Democrats do.
Funny you should say that because the Southern Democrats are the ones that were leading the Confederacy.
The
Although they did
Iroquois
make a pretty
Indian
cool
might have
submarine.
killed a few too.
Now, a bonus question. Cornwallis surrendering Yorktown ended what war?
Revolution.
Who did he surrender to?
I believe Cornrow surrendered to the Crips, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe out in L.A., but this is in L.A. This is at Yorktown.
I'm trying to remember.
Corn Pop didn't surrender to nobody.
Yeah, Joe Biden kicked his ass, man.
Corn Pop bag, dude.
Cornrow, Corn Pop, they're all bad dudes.
Yeah. Joe Biden went all Leroy Brown on Corn Pop, according to Joe Biden.
So what's the question again?
Okay, what happened on April 12th, 1861? The Missouri Compromise went into effect. Cornwallis, oh no, we already did that one. What was the question? Who did Cornwallis surrender to at Yorktown?
It wasn't Washington, right?
No, it wasn't Washington.
Benjamin Franklin.
Nope.
I'm trying to remember all the Continental Generals.
Abraham
It was. I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a Continental General.
Abraham Lincoln.
Was it that Frenchy bastard?
Yep, it was the Marquis de Lafayette.
Oh shit!
Emmanuel Macron.
Marquis de Lafayette. What Washington said, if he had a son, he wished he would be like him. Washington absolutely loved the Marquis de Lafayette. He thought of him as his son. Washington had no children of his own. He had stepkids through his marriage to Martha, but he had no children of his own. And he thought of the Marquis de Lafayette as his son. And Cornwallis refused to surrender to one of those damned rebels, so he surrendered to Lafayette.
Seems like a pretty good compromise.
Mm-hmm. It is generally believed that the first Native Americans reached North America from Asia by using what? The Louisiana Purchase, the Mozambique Channel. Jesus, that's nowhere near North. Jesus Christ, that's nowhere even near here. The Bering Strait or Columbus ships. Yeah, they sailed the ocean blue with Columbus.
Is all the above here?
No, it's not.
Damn.
No,
They came through the Bering Sea because I saw them on the Deadliest Catch.
Yep.
No, I'll give you a hint. It's not Mozambique Channel because that's in Africa. I mean, we process some elimination. You can figure
What
this
if
one
they
out.
crossed during Pangea? Come on.
Process of elimination can figure this one out, right? The Louisiana Purchase happened after the United States was a thing. The Mozambique Channel's in Africa. Columbus's ships, he came over here and came across Native Americans. They were already here. So there's only one answer left.
Didn't they used to call it some type of land bridge?
The
They
land
called it
bridge.
the Bering Land Bridge, yeah.
Ice bridge, yeah.
Well, it wasn't even ice. Was it really ice yet? Because
No, the sea levels were supposed to be so low because of the ice.
yeah. But
Actually,
the ocean levels were so low was because there was a massive ice age going on.
Okay, this question says, it is generally believed that the first Native Americans... Who believes that? I don't believe the Native Americans believe that. I believe they say they came from the stars.
Yeah, there's a lot of like historians and...
Well, that's the point that I was going to make.
Well, why don't they just ask the Indians where they came from instead of...
Because they tell them they came from the stars.
They did. Listen,
Okay, there's their answer.
The Egyptians, the aliens landed in Egypt and had sex with people and had alien hybrid people that built the pyramids. Then they flew them over to South America and dropped them over there and built a bunch of pyramids over there while they went up back into space. So that's how.
No, there's one problem with that. There's one
The Earth was flat. The Earth was flat at the time, so they didn't have to use as much gas to get over there.
There's one flaw in that theory. The pyramids in the Western Hemisphere aren't in South America; they're in North America.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Oh no, there's
You're
pyramids on every continent.
I would imagine that there's a couple of pyramids in South America.
Yeah, but he's talking about the Mayan and the.
I was technically talking about what I guess I would consider Central America, but technically it's North America.
Yeah, and they have like 10,000 pyramids, and Egypt has like 100.
Yeah, they're constantly finding new pyramids in the Central America region that where they thought was just a hill at one time. They dig down into the hill and they find out it's a goddamn pyramid.
Have you heard what they found in Brazil, clearing out the rainforest? There's whole friggin' archaeological digs going on there now because they started, clearing out a bunch of forest there, and they realized, there's like Lost City, and I mean it's like in the heart of the rainforest where
that's what's happening in Central America.
That's how they found everything in Central America. Yeah. The jungle had claimed every bit of it. It wasn't even part of history until
the largest pyramid
late
in the world.
1800s.
The largest pyramid in the world is in Central America, and they thought it was a hill or a mountain. Actually, they thought it was a mountain. Well, because they thought it was worn down like the Appalachians are. They start digging in it for looking for like coal or something. There was like a company that was started digging there looking for some mineral. I think it was coal they were looking for, and it turned out that instead of it being a coal mine, it turned into an archaeological dig.
Mhm.
They found a
Well, that's
massive
like that,
pyramid.
giant hill in China. They're like, look at this, and then they're like, oh my god, this is from whatever friggin' empire. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, that one. The
But
tomb.
has the terracotta or
Yeah,
whatever the
that's
hell
terracotta warriors in it and stuff.
Yeah,
And China won't let them go in to see what's in the actual tomb itself.
yeah. But
'Cause
like
it's full of mercury.
10,000 fake
Yeah, it's full of
warriors.
mercury. Yeah, because according to the records that they found, they use mercury to simulate water and shit. There's supposed to be a map of China and stuff in there from before modern map making techniques were even invented yet. That's like a 3D type map that uses mercury for water and stuff.
Okay,
Apparently,
next
they didn't
question.
hear about California. They're also to know that would have caused cancer.
Can we make Kingpin answer the next question all by himself?
Sure.
Michelle Obama.
Who was the Catholic noble who established Maryland in 1634? Was it William Penn, Lord Baltimore, James Oglethorpe, or John Winthrop?
Pete
Kingpin,
Rose.
who was it?
Oh man, I don't know if it was William Penn or Baltimore. I'm not sure.
I'll
I think
give
it was
you.
William Penn.
No, it's not Penn.
No.
Penn
I
is
guess
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Baltimore, I guess.
Yeah, I'll go with Baltimore.
The best part is he's the only one that even has a noble title given.
Best part is, I bet you he'd get shot if he stepped out into the city.
I'm Lord Baltimore. This is my city. Bang!
Oh shit!
This is my
The Lord
street,
was
bitch.
This piece of land was bought by the U.S. in 1853 in order to build a transcontinental railroad. Was it the Gadsden Purchase, Louisiana Purchase, Mexican Cession, or the Washington Treaty?
Oh, this is clearly when we bought Alaska.
No, that was Seward's Folly.
I know.
Did this land purchase come with the Japanese?
I don't know. That's the Japanese.
You said 1853, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with there. It's definitely not Louisiana Purchase because that
Nope.
was done long before that.
Yep.
I don't remember the other options.
Gadsden Purchase, Mexican Cession, or Washington Treaty. Who else?
I'm gonna go with Gadsden.
Okay. What do you think, Gary? Did Gary have to step away?
Yeah, he put a note out there, said he'd be right
Okay.
back.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't over there looking, so I didn't see it. So I was
I don't
wondering.
know why they would call it the Washington Treaty, unless well, why the hell would they build the railroad clear up in Washington State, which that wasn't even a state then. Maybe a territory, which I mean, I guess then they would still possibly name it after a territory, but
Yeah, Washington Territory. Why would you name a? Yeah, why would you name a? Oh, it says this piece of land. So the others were. That's an interesting way they phrased
Yeah.
that question, isn't it?
I'm sure it's not Louisiana Purchase because
Oh no,
That
the
was
Louisiana
done
Purchase
under
happened long before that.
Yeah.
That was done under Jefferson.
Yeah. Well, you had Gadsden, Washington. What was the other one?
The Mexican Cession where they like ceded California and I think Nevada, Arizona.
But by that time, we've kicked the shit out of the Mexicans and for Texas and all that crap. So I don't see why we'd be buying land off the Mexicans. It's just leaves Gadsden and Washington.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to use the hint?
Yep.
Jason, Kingpin, hint?
What? It's going to leave us
go ahead
with
and
the two
use
that
the
we're
hint.
stuck on.
All right. That left the two you were debating. That didn't help.
Okay. I'll go with the Gadsden purchase.
All right, Kingpin, what do you think? Gadsden purchase?
Let's do it.
That's what I said for my initial gut reaction, but my gut reaction said Lackawanna too. So
Yeah, but I saw Gadsden and I was thinking, is this the flag guy?
yeah,
Yeah, but anything to do with Washington, that's like way out of the way of the first railroads. The
Exactly.
railroads
That's
that
why I
were
was like,
intended to get to California.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know, Gadsden kind of sounds Californian, I guess.
All right. When did Spain and the United States sign the Pinckney Treaty? 1795, 1808, or 1834, or 1712? Well, it certainly wasn't 1712.
yeah, that'd be a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
So we got, what were the other options?
1795, 1808, or 1834?
I'm gonna go with 1808.
What do you think, Jason?
With Spain, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I'm gonna say the one 1795.
All right. Kingpin, what do you think?
I don't know. I've never heard of the thing before.
All right, do you want to use your second hint?
How many questions are on this test?
This is just a 10.
Yeah.
All right, that eliminated 1808 and 1712, which we already knew 1712 was wrong.
Yeah,
So at least
I don't like the way
1795 and 1834.
I'll
I'm
go
going
with
with 1795.
I'll go 1795. I
Yeah,
don't think we really had too much rap for the Spanish around the 1800s.
Was that what you said? Was that what you said originally, Jason?
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
1834, we weren't really scrapping with anybody at the time, were we?
Yes, we were. Mexico.
Oh, that doesn't count.
The Mexican-American War was
Well,
taking place in
I was trying to
1834.
remember when the Spanish-American War was. And that's why I went with
Spanish-American War was
1808.
the late 1800s.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay, thanks for the answer.
The late 1800s. Yeah, it was. That's when the Maine blew up in Havana, and
That was just on the last questions, wasn't it?
that was the last quiz, or the quiz before that. Who became known as Old Tippecanoe after his victory of the Battle of Tippecanoe? Andrew Jackson, William Henry Harrison, Baron von Steuben, or the Marquis de Lafayette? Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's not Baron von Steuben or the Marquis de Lafayette.
Wasn't
I
Baron
don't know
von
what that's-
Steuben the guy from the Mel Brooks movie?
Baron von Steuben?
There's not. I know there's no
Baron von Steuben was a German who immigrated to the United States prior to the American Revolution and helped George Washington train the Union soldiers.
I'll go with Harrison.
Okay. I'll give you a hint. The guy was a president of the United States at one time, and that's not really going to help you any because both the two guys.
I didn't hear the question or the answers.
It's either Andrew Jackson or William Henry Harrison.
Jackson.
Yeah, I'll go Andrew Jackson.
Nobody knows who William Henry Harrison is.
I do. William Henry Harrison was the president with the shortest term, and he was known as Old Tippecanoe. His presidential campaign was Tippecanoe and Tyler too.
Oh, thank you for telling me. I just got it right.
Yes. So there was somebody who knew it. Andrew Jackson
You're not
was
wrong,
known
man.
as Old Hickory.
Guess there was two people that.
And Andrew Jackson was known as Old Hickory. That was his nickname. All right. Southerners called the Tariff of 1828 the Tariff of Abominations, Traitors, Turpitudes, or Unfair Rules.
What were they? Who was?
Uh,
So the federal government was putting tariffs on the southern states.
Yeah, because they refused to take up the notion of abolition.
It's
This-
abominations.
Yeah, remember when Squib and I were arguing back on Memorial Day or July 3rd last year about one of the causes of the Civil War? This is one of the things that eventually would lead up to the Civil War.
Yeah, this is kind of a famous thing here, and I'm pretty sure it's the Tariff of Abominations.
Oh, the tariff is basically a tax. And a tax from the federal government is all of the above. Because screw the government, but I'll agree with Chase.
I'm gonna go with turpitudes.
Say it again.
He said
Turpitudes?
turpitudes. The two of you are saying abominations, so that's when it gets not traitors.
Turpitudes. It's a fun word to say.
Turpitudes is a word.
I know,
What
that's
does
what I said.
turpitudes mean?
It's fun to say.
Basically the same thing as abominations and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And it was the Treaty of Ghent.
Nice.
Having two houses obviously is what bicameral means. It was the League of the
What's
Iroquois.
the single cameral there again, Rich?
What's what?
I think you called it single cameral.
Yeah, single cameral.
The one camera.
Yeah, unicameral just like slipped my
Uno
mind. It's like single cameral. I knew the right word. I knew it wasn't single cameral, but I just couldn't remember what the freaking hell it was.
Uno.
League of Iroquois,
Look at that.
Fort Sumter, the Bering Strait. It was Lord Baltimore, the Gadsden Purchase,
Nice.
it was 1795 for the Treaty of Pinckney.
We're pretty awesome at this so far.
It's Pinckney.
Yes. The Pinckney Treaty was the precursor to the Louisiana Purchase, by the way. Old Tippecanoe was William Henry Harrison. Yeah, and they even bring up the vote for Old Tippecanoe and Tyler too. And it was the Treaty of the Tariff of Abominations.
Look at that.
So, 10 out of 10. That's the second time in a row. Of course, I helped you, but yeah.
Well,
Oh,
keeping the Tippecanoe thing, so
What's the percentage of people getting it at 100%?
I don't know, but only 7 out of 10 did. So, 70%. 70%
what's the percentage
got
of
it right.
people doing this as a team?
No, wait. The average is 7 out of 10 for a correct score. The average of people that got it right, I don't know. I'll tell you what, the 1795 one, only 29% got that question right.
Hey, well, that's pretty good when you only got 4 guesses.
How'd we do?
100%.
Perfect score.
Awesome.
Yeah, got A on this one.
It's 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anybody else find it ironic that once New York Outcast left, we started getting 100%?
Yeah, right? So what do we want to do next?
How many numbers are there?
How many numbers are there? A few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, boys, I'm having a lot of fun, but it's 11 o'clock. I need to bow out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce out here too.
Sorry about that.
Yep,
It's pretty
Jerry,
fun.
Yeah. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, Rich. And I watched a little bit of last night. I thought the wrestling trivia questions was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, it came that worked out pretty well last night. So I figure tonight I'll look for something we can do from that same site. And came
Yeah,
across
cool.
the U.S. history ones. Like, yeah, we can do this.
Cool, man. Well, good talk to y'all, man. Y'all have a good week. See y'all later.
See you, Jason. See you, Kingpin.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah, later. So you two want to keep going, or you want to call it a night, or?
I could probably stick around for one more.
Yeah, probably one more would be about it for me too. So.
All right, Gary, I'll let you pick one.
Okay. U.S. states and cities.
Oh boy, there's 213 different quizzes in that category. So
Holy
what state? What state?
Oh, gee, I could make it pretty easy. Let's see. Well, those are all state specific, but there's general ones underneath it.
Yeah. You want to just do one of the general?
Yeah, just do the first one.
The part two. Okay. That one's 15 questions, or you and do part one, which is only 10.
Do part one.
Of the many states in America, which is the smallest? Rhode Island,
Rhode
Delaware,
Island.
Connecticut, or Maryland? You agree, Gary? Rhode Island?
Yep.
There are 3 core mid-Atlantic states in the U.S. besides New York and New Jersey. What is the third state? Florida, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, or New Hampshire? Jesus Christ. If you can't figure that one out. Which one is it, guys?
So obviously not New Hampshire or Pennsylvania. What were the other ones?
No, it has to be Pennsylvania. The other ones were New York and New Jersey.
Well, so they don't have to be touching the Atlantic. Okay.
It's not Florida for sure.
Well,
Or
it's not
North
Florida and
Carolina.
North Carolina. New Hampshire's in New England. North Carolina and Florida are both in the South Mid-Atlantic. It has to be Pennsylvania.
I was actually thinking like states that touch the Atlantic. Actually, just like geographically Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Does Pennsylvania reach the ocean?
Nope. We're blocked.
Philadelphia does have a major naval base there because you go down, the Susquehanna River empties into the Atlantic Ocean right below New Jersey.
Yeah, but does that actually count as touching the ocean?
It's a naval seaway. Okay, next question. Yeah. Which state contains the highest mountain in the U.S. and is also the largest state in area? Yeah, we have the state of Garden Grove.
Yeah, it's Alaska, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Alaska. Which little state has 5 nicknames and is the first official state of the U.S.? Delaware, West Virginia, it's not. Virginia or Vermont? So Delaware,
say little
Virginia, or
state?
Vermont. Huh?
Say little state?
Yeah, little state. And the
Virginia's
first,
not a little state.
No, it's gonna have to
not a
go to
little
Delaware.
state. Yeah, Delaware. Well, it could be Vermont. Well, no, Vermont's not the first state. The first state was Delaware. And they probably proclaimed that on their license plate. Or at least they used to. I haven't seen Delaware license plate in a while. Which state is known as the Constitution State, is one of the New England states, and is the 5th state in the U.S.? Massachusetts, New Hampshire,
Pennsylvania.
Connecticut, or, well, it's Pennsylvania. We know it's not Pennsylvania already. So Connecticut, New Hampshire, or Massachusetts? Which one calls itself the Constitution State? I don't know why they would, but
Yeah, I figured Pennsylvania would, just obviously we call it the Keystone State, but I figured it was just some other dumb nickname that doesn't get thrown around a lot, seeing as
yeah, but it
would-
specifies that it's one of the New England states, and we already know Pennsylvania's not in New England.
and so you have to say Massachusetts then.
Yeah, that would be my guess. You agree, Gary?
I've never heard of it referred to as that. Let's put
I've
it
never
that
heard of any of them referred to
Yeah.
as that.
But I don't know of Connecticut having any nicknames, but I don't know.
You want to use the hint?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Well, it's got to be Connecticut. Is anyone left in New England? Well, there we learned something. Connecticut is the Constitution state for
All right.
unknown reasons. You know, it would make more sense if it was Delaware or Pennsylvania. Delaware because it was the first one to ratify the Constitution, which is why it's considered the first state, or Pennsylvania because it was passed written and whatnot in Pennsylvania.
I mean, we have Constitution Hall in Philadelphia.
Yeah, formerly known as Independence Hall.
Yes.
Anyway, which before that it was what? What was it known at? What was it before Independence Hall?
Don't know.
Pennsylvania State House.
Oh, was it?
Yep. Which state is known as the Pine Tree State? Has a motto. The motto is Dirigo, meaning I direct in Latin, and is the 23rd state. Maine, Rhode Island, Texas, or Iowa?
Maine. Jesus. Like I could possibly see Rhode Island, but no. Iowa doesn't have squat for trees. I don't think Texas is doing too well in that department either.
Yeah, but Maine 23rd?
I don't know.
Iowa's the one that's jumping out at me. What do you think, Gary?
Iowa. Are there pine trees in Iowa?
That's what I was saying.
Northern Iowa, maybe. Because Maine just doesn't seem like it would have been that low in the state count.
I don't know. Did that many people really want to go that far north?
Well, Maine originally was part of Massachusetts, but they broke that off fairly early.
Does Maine touch Massachusetts? Because you got Vermont and New Hampshire in between.
No,
there.
it doesn't. That was the crazy part.
So it's like Alaska with the U.S.
Tim S says it's Maine.
See, look at that.
I thought so too.
But did he cheat and Google it?
I don't know.
Yeah. Patriots said Connecticut, but I don't know if he said Connecticut after we got the.
Oh, he's probably
Connecticut's
going
not
with
one of our
Constitution.
choices.
All right, we'll find out. But yeah, we'll go with Maine for now. It just seems weird.
There's no trees in Iowa, nowhere that I've ever been there.
Just a bunch of corn.
Yep. I mean, there's trees in Iowa, but
It just seems weird that Maine would only be the 23rd state. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what's throwing me, 23rd state.
Maine's like, well, if it was considered part of Massachusetts, think about how long.
Yeah, but that was during the territory days.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, think about how long it would have taken to break that off and have it be its own state. I mean, think about how long it took for.
Well, it
West
didn't
Virginia
take
to break
very
away from
long.
Virginia.
Yeah, but right after the United States was formed, they started breaking states off. Because if you remember, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia all stretched all the way to the Mississippi River at one point. Before they broke off Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. All right. Moving on to the next one. Which state has a motto that means, by the sword she seeks peace under liberty, and is the 6th state of the USA? Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, or New Hampshire?
I don't think. I want to say Massachusetts or New Hampshire.
No, it's not New Hampshire. New Hampshire's is live free or die.
Yeah, but it says, "What's the state mean?" Right?
No, it's that's what the state motto is.
Oh,
says
motto.
state
Oh,
motto,
my
yeah.
fault. I misheard you. Like I thought it was like, what's this mean? Like, what's Baton Rouge mean? Red stick. So my bad.
No, it's a motto that means by the sword she seeks peace under liberty, which means it's something in Latin.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's not New Hampshire because that's not New Hampshire's motto. New Hampshire's
Okay.
motto is in English. Yeah, New Hampshire's the live free or die state.
I don't think it's New York. I'm gonna have to go with Massachusetts.
Yeah, I don't know this one. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, that'd be my guess too.
Okay. Well, getting to the next one, I think you guys know. I kind of gave away the answer, not meaning to. Which state is known as the Granite State has a motto that is live free or die and was admitted into the Union on June 21st, 1788, and is the 9th state?
I don't know. Texas.
Yeah, I think
You
I
said
already
that
gave
earlier.
you this. Yeah, I think
I
I
know,
gave
it's
you
New
the answer
Hampshire.
for this one in the last question. Yeah, it's the live free or die state. Which one did I say that was? That was New Hampshire. Which state is known as Green Mountain State has a motto that is freedom
Vermont.
and is a state in New England region? Vermont, it's not South Carolina, Alaska, and North Dakota. Jesus Christ. Only one of
So they're
those.
counting Vermont and New Hampshire as part of New England?
Vermont. Well, there's only one
Yeah.
here. Though.
Well, we might want to go back up to that other question
Which other question?
from earlier when
Which
it was about New England states, because I think New Hampshire is one of the options.
Pretty much all of them so far have been about New England states.
Yeah, they have.
Read
'Cause they're
them all.
Counting Vermont and New Hampshire.
New Hampshire
And-
was eliminated.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but only Vermont is in New England. So it's-
The only reason I know Vermont's because running truck up through there, you'd hear guys get on the CB every once in a while and say, "Watch out for the Green Mountain Boy up ahead."
Vermont was originally part of what state?
I want to say New York, but I feel like I thought at one point Vermont and New Hampshire were
It's New Hampshire.
one state in itself, and
Yeah.
then they split it for some reason.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why they split it. And if you're gonna split it, like why the hell did they split it the way they did? Why didn't you just right down the center?
I don't know. Which state is known as the Garden State or the crossroads of
New
the
Jersey.
state? New Jersey, yeah.
It's also known as the garbage state.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey was third state in the country.
You cross into New Jersey, it's welcome to the Garden State. And you're like, no, it's the garbage state. Pissed off.
You think Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey were the first three states because they all touch? And they're all right there by Philadelphia. So they were the first ones to get the copies of the Constitution to ratify them. You think
Yeah,
that's what happened there?
sense.
It seems like that would be the case, right?
Although you'd think, Pennsylvania would have been number one since it's right there.
Well, they were barely beat out by Delaware, and like Delaware was right there too, and so Okay. Yeah. The smallest state is, of course, Rhode Island. Pennsylvania was the Mid-Atlantic state that, yeah. So I knew that Pennsylvania was known as the Keystone State and the Quaker State, but apparently it's also known as the Coal State and the Oil State, which Oil State actually makes sense because the first oil district in the country or in the world actually, was invented. It was invented in Pennsylvania near
In Oil City. Yep. Which is actually friggin' 30 minutes from me.
Yeah.
They
Well,
did many shows from there
we
for some
both
reason.
grew up not too far from Oil City.
Yeah. It's a shithole now. Say the oil production left, and that town really died.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's full of drug addicts.
No,
It's
nice.
kind of sad.
And Alaska is the one that has the tallest mountain and the largest state in area. Delaware is the state with the 5 nicknames and was the first state. Connecticut is the Constitution state. Why, I do not know.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
The Pine State is Maine. That's just
Oh,
weird.
right.
It was admitted into the Union on March 15th, 1820. Which state has a motto that means the sword she seeks peace under liberty? That was Massachusetts. Which state is known as the Granite State? Yeah, that was New Hampshire. Which state is Green Mountain State? Yep, that was Vermont. Admitted to the Union on March 4th, 1791. It was the Vermont Republic before that.
Nice.
Which state is known as the Garden State or the Crossroads of the Revolution State? And that would be New Jersey. So
Fun
10
fact
out of
about
10.
Vermont, was the first constitutional carry state.
Yeah,
Look at
Vermont's weird. Vermont's weird though. They're a constitutional carry
Yeah.
state with magazine limits.
Yep. It's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But look at that. 3 100% in a row.
Yep.
And we lost over half the team.
Yep.
Before this last quiz. So I think this just proves that Gizzard and I were the anchors.
Oh, and Tim S said yes, he did look it up on Google for Maine.
All right.
Alrighty. I guess we're done with the quizzes for today. So I can stop screen sharing that. So those quizzes are kind of cool. I was glad I found that website because they got a whole bunch of them. Like we could do music quizzes on there, movie quizzes, all kinds of quizzes. So I guess we're gonna call it a night now. So Gary, you got anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Oh, let's see. Foul Territory every Friday night, 9 p.m. Central Time, and Early Bird Chat Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Time. And maybe, just maybe, I'll have some stuff out later this week. Thanks for the invite.
Yep, thanks for jumping in. Bariki, what about you? Anything you want to before we get out of here?
Just, the same old, same old. Waiting on a bullet puller to arrive. Should be here Wednesday. Then I'm going to redo that MMP 2.0 test with primed cases. But other than that, just like I said, same old, same. The live shows during the week, the barbecue show on the weekends. I'd like to remind everybody, we had some good friends in here tonight. Kingpin, Jason Stewart, New York Outcast. Be sure to go over, check out their channels. New York actually just dropped I want to say a short, but with the way it didn't come up as a short. So anyways, he put out a little thing today. So go check that out. And thanks for the invite, Rich.
No problem. Thanks for jumping on.
Hey, Rich.
Yep.
Tim S. is out there asking if you would post a link to the website where the quizzes are so everybody could go play.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. No problem.
Test your knowledge. I gotta admit that might be kind of fun.
Yes.
That should be it. Yep, that's it. And then you up the quizzes and you'll find different categories. And then there's subcategories and subcategories. And so you got all kinds of different ones you can do. So. Oh, excuse me. So, guess it's time to play the outro, and then we'll see y'all next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Give him the bird.
Adios.